Oh, like lewd things or unlewd things?
Uh-huh.
And with that, another episode of the Good Keyboard Friends podcast.
Absolutely, guys.
Episode 52, I think. And while we don't have our little bitty beige machine, as he is called, we have Simon, we have James, and we have... I just want to say this is such a privilege for us to have you on, because as I talked about before we start recording, Sergeant Finley is the very first person who has ever asked to actually be on the podcast. So welcome, my man.
Thanks, my guys. Thank you. Again, it's an honor and pleasure for me. Like everyone who's been on this podcast, and you guys as the main hosts, are genuinely people I look up to within the hobby. I just want to say thank you for all of you guys, what you guys have done in the hobby. All of you guys are OGs. And again, whether it's just doing group buy reviews, starting the podcast, sharing the love of it, it's really amazing what you guys also do for the community as well.
Oh man. Ladies and gentlemen, we paid him to say that, right, Simon?
No, it's just how I am. Yeah. Yeah.
Before we get into it, I want to ask James, are you feeling better?
Yeah, James.
Yes,
how are you?
Actually, yeah, I am better.
What happened?
I caught like a stomach flu last week, and then I was sitting on the throne all weekend.
Oh no!
So but I'm feeling much better now.
I think like January, like a third of the US was sick. Basically, like everybody was just sick in some various way.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Yeah.
And well, I'm glad you're here. Did you just
glad to be back?
Do you know what happened, or what like when you started feeling the symptoms?
No, I just went to the doctor, took some pills, and then I felt better.
This man went to the doctor. Imagine having healthcare and like going to a doctor when something is wrong.
Imagine taking care of yourself.
I mean, my natural reaction after being sick is like, I'm gonna lay down, because like surely that'll fix it, right?
Yeah.
Sure.
I mean, that's what I did
broken
too.
leg.
That's what animals do, right, guys? I mean, don't they kind of huddle up and... I don't know. My cat sometimes curls in a ball, and that's where I know that something may be wrong, because I don't know. If we curl in a ball, maybe something's wrong, but something that is never wrong, someone who is never wrong. Mr. Finley, I don't want you to say anything that might compromise you, might dox you, but I want to know about your background before we get into how you got into keyboards.
Yeah, absolutely. So like for me, again, I'm based in Los Angeles, born and raised here. And again, I'm just a guy who just likes messing with keyboards in his free time. I'm in my day job, I am a school teacher, so I get to work with middle school kids, which is really cool. So one thing that's kind of cool with keyboards, like I take a different keyboard in my classroom every day, and my students will walk by my desk when they come into class, and my kids have noticed there's a different keyboard there every day, which is really cool. So like I just recently restored my IBM Model M Battleship, and my kids just couldn't get over just how absolutely massive it is in this and it's just really cool, like, and especially when I take in some of the more colorful, like Cherry MX boards. Again, it's really kind of cool. Like, again, I tell people I'm like a school teacher in my day job, and they're kind of shocked. I'm like, hey, it's a fun time. I get to work with other people's kids, and teaching. Again, it's you have good days and you have bad days, but like I got into it because like I grew up like doing like community volunteering and working with like YMCA youth programs. So when I decided to enter my adult life and finish college, like, hey, I knew like working with kids and getting into the teaching space is definitely something I wanted to do. Again, are there days I'm like, I could probably be doing something else, but like at the end of the day, I realized like this is what I want to be doing, despite how difficult it can be at times. But in terms of like just other things too about me, like again, I'm just a big nerd. I've always enjoyed doing things with my hands. When I was a kid, I was obsessed with Legos. I also sometimes dabble in like woodworking and like home improvement. So like when I finally discovered the keyboard hobby, it was kind of a natural progression of things I was always interested in my free time. I love working with my hands. I love making things. Yes, Mike Simon.
I swear to God, Hubert, if you fucking try and call him an engineer, I will fucking walk to your house and slap you.
Well, it's funny. My day job, like I did my college work. I am a history teacher by trade. So again, most of my college.
God.
Well, it's funny. All of my friends, growing up, and when we all went our separate ways in college, most of them went STEM careers like mathematics, engineering, science. I was
I mean,
a one
that's where the
freaking guy
money
who did
is.
liberal arts and became a teacher. So, which
Wow.
is really cool. So, but no, it's a really fun time and like kind of going through that progression. And I've also always been into custom PCs. I've been doing custom PCs for well over a decade. I'm glad I rebuilt. I
When's the
built.
last PC you built?
So my last custom PC, my current rig I have right next to me, I built in late 2023. Right away, I got into the keyboard hobby. So like it was fully decked. I got a 4080. I got 64 gigs of RAM when RAM wasn't like a small house loan, and like also like 1400K. But it also had been like almost a decade. I hold on to my rigs for a long time. So when it's time for me to build a rig, like I go all out because I'm not a person. Do I need a new PC every 2 years? No. Like I'm gonna hold on to it for the better part of a decade. So I want to go nice so I can get my money's worth over the life of that PC. Yeah, trying to build a PC now, I would not recommend building a PC now because I've also done like custom PC builds for people as well, and that's also a fun thing. So like when I rebuilt my current PC, like a buddy of mine who's like one of my best friends started getting into mechanical keyboards, and I was over to his house helping him and stuff. And he said, "Hey man, I want to show you these like things I got." And he showed me some custom keyboards, and I'm like, "Oh my god, this is awesome!" Like, what have I been missing out? Because prior to that, I was using mechanical keyboards. I was on a Corsair K95, which I got in like 2015. I used that all the way until like 2023. And I freaking loved that thing. And I thought I knew mechanical keyboards. And then I started using my buddy's custom stuff. I'm like, okay, this thing is a piece of garbage compared to this. So, and I mean, no disrespect for like the big box manufacturers. I mean, there's a reason their stuff's in like Costco, Best Buy, and Micro Center, and like Amazon. But like when you get into the custom game, it's kind of hard to go back to like the big box manufacturers of mechanical keyboards.
I don't know.
And my
Sometimes you find one that like hits just right.
yeah. Well, I
Like
actually want to show the first keyboard I have. I have it, even though I've sold a lot of keyboards recently. But let me quickly grab it. Forgot to grab that one. So, all right. So this one's really cool. So like, it's funny. So like, I did some research, and it's funny. I walked around, and my first foray into custom stuff was KVD fans. And I know Simon, you're a little critical of them, but for me, like,
I mean, I had a
biggest fan.
KVD 75 early.
okay,
That's why I was critical because I
so,
got it.
this is
and then, like-
this is my custom KVD fans 8X Mark III, but it's a sentimental board, so I had it custom Cerakoted completely.
Wow.
So this is a 1 of 1. So I have GMK nuclear data on it, and again, I also got the back steel weight Cerakoted. So, and I also have the special edition Chem PCB. So this is a really cool board. It's sentimental to me, and it just kind of so like I tell people, it's like one of mine never sells. And it's funny, I go to like a lot of the university meets here in Los Angeles, like the University of Southern California, UCLA have really active keyboard clubs. And I tell them like that was my first keyboard. They say, "Man, you started off with the air quote nice stuff." I'm like, yeah, I skipped like a lot of the more budget stuff. Like I didn't do like your Keycrons, your Epo makers, like the stuff that's like really popular and where most people start. Like I say, KVD fans is like that lower level middle in the hobby. I think that's fair to say.
I mean, KVD fans is like, I would consider it like the low end of like true DIY. So like
There
you
we
did
go, yeah.
enter like
Yeah.
the right thing. Like one of my early keyboards,
Exactly.
KVD fans.
Yeah.
Because it makes sense,
Yeah.
It's cheap, it's affordable, you get it, and you're just like, oh wow, I have regrets.
Exactly. And again,
I mean, in your case, yours looks fine. Like, do you have
Yeah.
pictures of that Sarah? Because that looks like a Cerakote color that matches a known Cerakote color of something special.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, I really just love this board. And again, I've had quite a few boards custom Cerakoted. So I have a Cerakote guy here in Los Angeles who's actually really close to me that does really good work. Because like Cerakote I've learned is an art form, and it's really easy to mess up.
Yes.
So you definitely want to have someone who genuinely knows what they're doing. And I genuinely love that board. And again, it is one of my never sells because it is my very first like custom board. And again, I've sold a ton of my boards. I was talking off podcast. You go through different phases in the hobby, and one of the phases I went through in 2025 was chasing clout and chasing hype in the hobby. So like I started going after.
You arrived late, dude. Shit.
I know. So like again, late 2023, I spent most of 2024 just kind of getting my feet wet and figuring it out. But like 2025, I started going after a lot of hype boards. So like I started going after your Singas, your TGRs. some of the rare Geon work stuff. Like, and I realized I was getting those boards for the wrong reasons. I was getting those boards to check a box. I was getting it to say like, to be one of the nerds at the meetup who says like, hey man, I'm one of the cool guys who has a Kohaku. I'm like, 50 other people have a Kohaku. That's not that cool. And again, I mean no disrespect to those creators. Like Elaine, for example, I freaking love Elaine. She's lovely. But I got her Kohaku for the wrong reasons. And I realized, yes, it's cool, but I want to get boards that aren't just cool to the hobby. They're genuinely and intrinsically cool for me. So like over the past couple of months, I got rid of pretty much most of my hype boards, like my Jelly Evolve, like my Kohaku, and other boards like that. Because I realized as I've gotten more into my niche, which is like vintage stuff and like modern Alps conversions, I just realized a lot of these like hype Cherry MX boards are not my thing. And they would be better served. I could use the money for other things in my life and other keyboard projects that are cooler to me. But also those keyboards could go to users and to homes where they'll be more than just display pieces. They're going to get used. They're going to get appreciated more.
So
yeah.
You like the Kohaku like as a board, right?
I like the Kohaku as a board.
By that I mean like sound feel and like general aesthetics. Right?
Yeah, I think it's one of the most beautiful boards in terms of industrial design that I've probably personally owned.
Okay. So you like the design, because otherwise I was going to be like, bro, the Smoke 65 slaps as a 65%.
Well, I think I have the cooler Kohaku, which I did keep. There's I have this puppy right here.
Oh!
I think this is a much cooler Kohaku.
I think that is the only keyboard picture that is permanently pinned in the Show Keyboard channel on our Discord.
I freaking love my Mix 65. I got lucky and I got that when I was going after hype boards. Like this was a board I genuinely wanted. And it only ran in China for obvious reasons. And I found a guy in Shanghai who had it. And it literally took I ordered it during Chinese New Year and I had to wait for like a month for the guy to ship it. And it finally came like after 2 months of waiting. And I freaking love this thing. Well, it's funny too, because Chicken Man, who designed the keycap set, he's like a friend of mine. He lives like, he's local to me here in Los Angeles, which is really nice. So I see him at the local LA meets like all the time. So like, again, I've gotten rid of most of those hype boards. And like I've been focusing primarily now where I'm focusing in the hobby is kind of my niche, which is Alps, modern Alps conversions and like Alps restorations. So I've got into like a lot of like vintage stuff. I've also been like, I really like going forward with boards. I want to get boards that I can primarily convert to Alps. So like, I've picked up like a 6XX. I picked up a Molly. I picked up a Desk Candy M0110 because I got with the express purpose of converting those boards to Alps. Like that's what interests me now going forward. And also Topra. I'm also a big Topra fan too. So it's funny. I always tell people like, if you think that this hobby is expensive with Cherry MX, I'm like, you ain't seen nothing. Once you get into high-end custom Alps,
it's come down, dude. It's come down. It's like, I mean, like if we're trying to get like neon green or brown Alps or like orange Alps, that's hard. But like Topra, EC, bro, we got all the EC. We got Dynacaps. We got fucking,
I just ordered Dynacap R2 and I'm really excited to see
the domes spelled wrong. You know which domes. Fucking Eric can't spell words. Eric, bro, we'll come together, okay? We'll pay for like spelling lessons for you, so you could like name products along the way.
Well, I got a couple boards, my Topra project. So I have a couple Han boards. So I got the H2H from Han, and then I also have Han's Pro 2K, which I'll tell you the Pro 2K funny story. I get this board in like 2 weeks ago, and I am pissed off because you can see the problem with the bottom.
That looks fine.
Oh no.
No, it's not. It's not HHKB. That's horrible.
No, it's fine, bro.
No, it's not true HHKB. And I was pissed. And I text Han and I'm like, dude, I think you fucked my order up. And he said, dude, you ordered wing keyless. And I'm like, shit, you're right. I meant to order HHKB. And I said, Han, do you have any extra plates or top cases? And he said, I have one. Do you want it? I'm like, yes, I will take it.
Is it pink?
I was really kind of bummed because I want for Topra, especially like my 60s, I want true HHKB. Like wing keyless, my Alps builds, of course, I'm going to do wing keyless. But like, my Topra 60s, I want HHKB.
How do you feel about HHKB bottom row on a TKL form factor, but Topra?
It's sexy because you're doing true HHKB on the CCR6.
Well, yeah, you got to do true 6U.
Yeah.
But like you like that layout. Like
I think
TKL,
it's fantastic. Well, because also
HHKB.
one thing I love that you did on your CCRX, I love that you do the T crossroad because like as someone who likes the battleship, like I love the T navigation cluster. But also
cross arrows are so good, except for the fact that you can't get up arrows.
Yeah. Oh, sweet. We have someone else. Yeah, it's so beautiful. I love the T cluster, but I also love your other layout, which is the 8K. Like, especially since I've gotten into Alp stuff, I've gotten some of my vintage boards have the 8K cluster, and I freaking love the 8K cluster. Like, I mean, one of my modern 8K boards is like my Geon Frog TKL 8K. So it's super sick. So I had a custom plate made where I could have the numpad, a cutoff numpad here in the 8K cluster, which is super sick. And it sucks because Geon doesn't make these anymore. He discontinued the Frog TKL. They have the Froge DKL Legera now.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
Geon discontinued them. I'm very sad about that.
Oh man.
I mean, the Frog was a byproduct of like the exact time that it was made, where like it was possible to get that much material and that good of finishing at that price point.
Yeah, you can't.
And
now.
I don't think it was ever possible ever again.
Yeah.
So like we could theoretically have more Frogs, but I feel like they'd be a lot more expensive just by default.
Well, I think that's why the Legera line I think is so popular, because like the Frog, like especially as someone who's interested in Alps conversions. When people ask me like what board should I convert to Alps if they were
something made out of plastic.
Well, yeah, polymer is really good. I think for my vintage boards, I definitely prefer polymer boards. Like, but when I get to my modern boards, I do like my metal customs. But what I tell people is, if you're gonna do a metal custom board, please put linears or put tactiles. Those are gonna feel and sound pretty good. But if you're gonna do clickies, I built clickies in metal cases and they suck. And I tell people you want something like Simon said, like if you're going to do clickies like blue Alps, amber Alps, like white Alps, you want a polymer case. Whether you're going vintage or if you're going modern, you want something out of polycarbonate because Alps are a very resonant switch type. And if you don't have like a case with a lot of internal case volume and it's made out of polymer, the benefit of the clicky switches is just going to get drowned out. And that's the really kind of sad and unfortunate part. So like for my modern metal builds, I only put linear and tactiles in them. So like I built this the other night in stream, which is I finally built this damn thing. This is the
S100,
the Seal full size.
Oh,
and I freaking
it's got a Seal?
Yes, the Seal. This is the Seal.
Let's go.
So I had DCS Reaper and Pine Black tactile Alps on this one, which is really cool. I freaking love it. And it's funny too with Sensi. I've become friends with the Sensi guys. And I'm going to be getting one of the review units for the Seal 80, which I'm really excited for.
Hey, I'm getting one too. Let's go.
Well, here's the thing. I was talking with Isis.
Are you getting a plastic one or a...
I got the metal one because I'm going to do Alps. I'm doing linear green Alps with it, but I'm also getting I'm doing the Space Invader. I'm also getting the Space Invader kit.
Ooh.
So, because we're going to do both. So the first review, we're going to be doing, we're going to do Alps. And then I told Isis, like, that's going to be the one we're going to do for the group view while it's happening. If we get the plate for the Space Invaders in from Hype Keyboards in time, then during the group buy, then we can do the Space Invaders kit. I just ordered a board with Space Invaders that I'll harvest. That's going to come this week. So we'll have the Space Invaders ready to go. But the issue is going to be the plate. Like, you got to get custom plates too. For that. So I don't know if I'll have that plate in time, but for sure doing Alps. And I asked Isis, like, is anyone else doing the vintage switches? And I think you were the only one he mentioned who's going to possibly do Alps.
Oh yeah, I'm
it's weird because like I love the Seal 80 and I love the Sensi guys because they're big vintage enthusiasts. And that's a really cool project because they're making that board with the expressed intention of not being Cherry MX. The purpose of that board is not Cherry. Like it's Alps, it's Topre, it's Space Invaders, Omron switches. It supports 7 different switch types. Like that's
the only thing that's missing is fucking Romer G.
Yes, I agree. That's a switch. I mean, who knows? We can get someone. Who knows? Maybe someone will make a kit later down the line for it.
Yeah, I mean, all we need is a PCB and a plate, theoretically.
Yeah. So I think that's the cool thing. But it was kind of. So I was kind of. So
is Hubert googling Romer G?
Oh yeah,
there's the Seal. I'm trying to find the Seal thing.
Oh,
I didn't know there was 7.
It's an amazing project. Like I think that Sensi guys, and I know there was a lot because I know when this ran, like the Seal, it was under it was under Vertex's banner.
Yes.
And I know there was all kinds of issues with Vertex over the past few months and whatnot. And I know the Seal had a ton of delays.
The Seal had a really rough international buy, but like at least the bright side is it could have gone a lot fucking worse. At least, they didn't screw up the PCBs on the
and it's also sucks too because you also have the intro team who made like the S100. Like I have an S100 and I freaking love that board. Like that board, I don't think they made money on that project. It was $220 for a full aluminum and steel full size. And then what happened with their team was just so sad when they said they were going to close doors, and people in Discord were like celebrating that. Why they were closing their doors was so sad. Did you not see that, Hubert?
Wait, who's closing what doors?
Guys who made the team behind the intro S100.
Okay.
Yeah.
They're leaving the hobby. I could be mistaken.
Well, you say the team, but it was a lot of people. So it was it was VTX. It was
VTX. Here we go. That's what I was thinking about.
Okay, so that would be like a couple guys from Vertex, but not the guys Sensi side, and it wouldn't be
Sensi's good. They're independent,
and
now.
It wouldn't be the guys intro side. So I guess it's just like Vertex is being dialed down, right?
Yeah, I think it was Vertex. But they were, because one of the projects I was excited for was the Vertex AT, which is like a Geon W1 AT or like a 0413. Like that's the project I was really excited for, and also 40%. I'm also a big 40% fan. I'm one of those psychopaths. I love gigantic keyboards and I love tiny keyboards. Those are like my two favorites.
Keyboards.
Hell yeah.
Oh yeah. So like something like a battleship or something like a minivan. Two of my favorites.
Wow.
Yeah. But yeah, that's the thing that was just interesting too, is like, again, like the VTX guys, I was really kind of sad because I love the S100 from them, and that was a project I was so hyped for, because we ordered two of them. My buddy and I went in to purchase 2 units. I got the Half-Life colorway, and then he got the Fuji colorway, which was really cool. So that's a really cool project that I really enjoyed. And again, it's one of my favorite full sizes I keep.
Yeah, I remember. Well, the thing is, for me at least, it's hard to keep tabs. Whether it's a drama or something that's good or bad, it's hard to keep tabs on what's going on with the hobby unless it's something submitted to Simon's IC Group Buy stream.
Oh yeah.
So I might have missed it. I did not know that they closed down.
VTX were the ones who kind of shut down, like, are kind of, they're still doing keyboard stuff, but I don't think they're going to do it in the capacity of like running group buys, doing like a lot of that bigger design. But it was really but the one thing that was really sad, I was talking with one of their guys, and like, it was really sad when it happened, because it's like, I'm a big proponent in this hobby that this hobby is for everybody. Whether you're a person who's starting out with a $40 keyboard you got on Amazon, or you're someone who's spending $500+ on a keyboard, or somewhere in between. I'm a big believer this hobby is for everyone, and we should promote that welcoming attitude to everyone within this hobby and trying to be helpful. And that was one thing I just thought was really sad, is like, again, someone who had entered the production side and like the keyboard manufacturing side, and then when they're leaving it for reasons outside of their control, and then people are kind of celebrating that and just being mean.
It's not even that. It's not even that. Vertex was good.
They made good stuff, and
their switch was good. They made a good JWK switch.
Yeah,
that's really fucking hard to do.
Yeah. So that's the thing I thought was just so sad, is like the VTX guys like made really good stuff,
and they birthed STR. They birthed the whole Cycle series.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think that's what was just kind of unfortunate. Like, so like for me, especially, like, I have my own Discord server. I've kind of started having a little community there. And again, I always just make it clear to people, like, hey, like, I don't care if someone's new, they're a veteran of the hobby, or they're someone who stepped away and is now returning. Like, we just want to make sure that everyone's welcome. And if someone has a genuine question, like, that's the kind of thing about it. Like, for me, like, I've been in the hobby for a little over 2 years, and I only started doing like just posting stuff online actively last year, because like I was doing a lot of my Alps. I'd gotten into Alps, and I was doing really cool builds, and people were saying, hey, do you like stream on Twitch? Do you like upload stuff to like YouTube? I'm like, no. And they say, maybe you might do that, just do it for fun. I'm like, okay. So I kind of looked into it. I bought I bought a couple of like just simple like Logitech C920s and a microphone, and I just started like uploading and streaming to Twitch and putting the VODs on YouTube. Like, and I told people, like, I'm not doing this for subs. I'm not doing this for views. I ain't even doing this for money. I'm doing it because it's fun. And also, it's kind of the teacher in me. Like, when I do the streams, it's also kind of fun to kind of explaining what I'm doing, like especially with, like, the vintage stuff, like talking a little bit about the history. Like, again, I'm a big history buff. That's why I teach it. So I love, especially with the vintage stuff, I love learning about the history of these keyboards and like the story that they were, like where these keyboards were during their service life, or especially with Alps. Alps has a fascinating production history. So I love learning about that. And that's kind of what we do on my streams too, is like kind of talking about the history and like what goes into these builds. Like, I always tell people too with Alps, like, they are a metric boatload of work but the end result is worth it. I mean, I tell people like, you got to harvest the switches because they haven't made in 30 years. And you got to clean them up because Alps get clapped really, really easily. Simon could probably attest. Like, Alps are great when they're great, but when Alps are horrible, they are truly horrible.
Yeah, like in peak Alps, like perfect like Alps maintenance, you should be opening up your Alps every 6 months and removing all the dust with them inside of them, basically.
Yeah,
because otherwise they just fill up with gunk.
Yeah, and it's crazy too because like something like this, like I always tell people, like something like a 60%, like this is my Hex 3C V2. Great little board. But like, again, the big thing with Alps, I always tell people, like, they take their own plate, they take their own PCB pattern, they take their own keycaps. Unless you're using DCS Alps, which I really don't recommend, like you're using Alps pattern stabilizers. And it's funny too, because like I also do a lot of client builds. Like a lot of my stuff's kind of taken off and people kind of started calling me the Alps guy online. And people see my builds and they ask like, hey, how do I do that? And then they realize, oh my God, that's way too much work. And then they said like, hey, well, what do you do?
Keyboards used to be like.
Yeah. Well, then people ask me like, hey, like, what if I paid you to build it? So I've also been doing like client commissions. So like I've done a lot of custom client commissions for people. And I've actually done builds for people in different parts of the world too, not just here in the United States. Like I've done builds for people. I did a build for a guy in like Israel recently. I did a couple guys over in Europe. I'm doing a build right now for someone in Russia. I've done builds for like Singapore, Indonesia, and other parts of the world. So like, it's really kind of cool that like the stuff I've been doing, even though I'm just a guy, is kind of gotten attention to people in other parts of the world. And it's really kind of nice when like someone reaches out for a client commission. And I always make it clear to them, like up front, like what cost is. I tell them like, this is not going to be cheap, even if we were doing a 60%, because like these builds, it takes me probably 1 to 2 months to do an Alps build. Like whether it's waiting for like a plate to come in from Tom over at Hike Keyboards, or it's coming, or like I have to restore the switches. Like I take my time and I want to do it right. And by the time I'm done with the switches and like have like a build together, like it's going to be really close to how these switches would have been when they came out of the factory. Like I take my time. I do a full blown teardown restoration process. I've also done vintage restorations too for people. I tell them, depending on what we got to do to that, that's also going to take probably 2, maybe even 3 months to do. Because again, I want to do it right. And sometimes too, I've had a couple of vintage restorations where I did have the steel bottom cases refinished because a coat of spray paint wasn't going to do it. So I had to get them professionally done. I told them that increased cost and that's just going to take more time. So I just tell people like, just please be patient. I'll give you updates when we have updates. And then when we get to when all the parts are ready to go, we'll do final assembly on Twitch, which is really cool. So I just threw together a vintage Alps board last night for a client, which is really cool. So it's really kind of cool, like getting to do that client work. And it's also nice too, like I've also gotten client referrals. Like one of my friends within the hobby, his name is Karolus. He runs a website called Carolingian.com, and he's kind of the go-to guy when it comes to modern Alps conversion. So if you want to convert a modern keyboard to Alps, look up Carolingian.com. Karolus is amazing. His really kind of forte is designing Alps plates, because that's kind of the biggest hurdle on converting keyboards over to Alps is the plate. So if you can get a plate made yeah, exactly, Carolingian. So huge shout out to Karolus. He's one of my really good friends. But he has a massive library of Alps plates on hand. He has a bunch of plates that are already made in certain materials. So if he has if you're looking at a board to convert, like Karolus is where I get all of my plate files. Wow. And then I usually get my plates cut by Tom over at Hike Keyboards up in Canada. But literally any type of board you could imagine, Karolus can do it. And if he doesn't have a plate, Karolus could design a plate file for you. Wow. Now, one thing about Karolus, like me, this is not his day job. He has a normal day job. So Karolus designs plates when he gets to them. So that's another thing too. If I have a project I'm doing and Karolus doesn't have the plate on file, that's going to take even more time. Because again, he's doing that in his free time to design those plate files, which is really cool. So like he's a really knowledgeable guy, and he also does client commissions, and his client commission order is kind of really backed up. So I've actually been taking on some of the overflow of some of his clients. That client in Israel that I did a couple months back, that was one of his clients. And then I have another client right now. They want a full-size Alps keyboard. And I told them, do they have a good budget? Because that's not going to be cheap. Because to my knowledge, there's only like 3 custom full sizes that support Alps, which is the Seal, the Fossil, and like the Dino 106. And all those keyboards are expensive. Yeah. So... And they also want blue Alps. So he said he has about $1,000 budget. I'm like, okay, good.
I mean, you can make it work.
Yeah. So we could definitely make it work, which is really cool. So that's the one thing that's like really cool. Kind of going into that is like really kind of working with Alps. And if you can kind of see it behind me, I literally have a mountain of Alps keyboards, and that little black pile is literally a pile of blue Alps I'm restoring for a client. So they're literally drying, and I'll probably be throwing them back together and adding the dry lube to them overnight. So yeah, it's like a never ending project pipeline. Like my project.
How many ultrasonic cleaners do you have? Let's ask the real questions. How many ultrasonic cleaners do you have?
I have like 3 or 4 running at any given point. I mainly use the ultrasonic cleaners for cleaning the polymer components of the switches. Yep. If the tactile leaf and the springs are messed up, I'll throw those in the ultrasonic cleaner. But like when I restore Alps, like I'll grab a pile of them. Like I literally just like fully tear them apart. So like that's another thing too with Alps too. It's like a lot of people will literally throw the whole switch in the ultrasonic cleaner. My recommendation is do not do that, because
you're pushing more gunk into corners, basically.
Well, the problem is the point of failure on Alps that I experience are the contact leaves. That's the part that has the legs that you solder into the board that sticks out. Like this is the point of failure on Alps switches. Like I have hundreds of them on hand because I do so many builds, but like that's the point of failure. And if those any type of moisture gets into those, you're gonna ruin them. And they're really susceptible to moisture. So I tell people, if you're going to ultrasonic clean Alps, like you have to fully tear the switch apart, or at least remove the top housing with like the slider, the tactile leaf, and the spring, because you don't because that's just you're going to ruin the contact leaf. And because I've killed a ton of contact leaves early on in my Alps journey, I literally just threw the whole switch in the ultrasonic cleaner, and I realized, why do I have so many dead switches? And I'm like, the contact leaves are all like soaked in water, and yeah, they're ruined. So that's the thing with Alps too.
Next question.
Yeah.
How much RO59 can you grab without moving?
Oh God, I have so much. I have like a little thing of it in my like in my drone I have a bunch of it in my garage. Well, it's funny too with lube is like an interesting thing with Alps. Like again, like I know we still don't properly know what their like formula was for like their original factory lube. We know it was some form of dry lube that was but yeah, R059 is a really good one. One I've been experimenting with recently in some of my personal builds is 205G0. And 205G0, you gotta be really careful because it is such a like thick lube. Like I'm experimenting with really, really light coats on the inner rail that the slider rides in. And I've had some pretty good success. It gets rid of any of the binding. But you have to use like
you have to be real careful.
You have to be really careful.
And then there's the general rule of the if you don't know any better, the general rule is you do not use any wet lubes for Alps whatsoever.
Yeah.
Because once dust gets in there, you're cooked.
Yeah, so that's why I said like it's definitely again very, very light, and it's just kind of experimenting with it. But the couple of boards I've done them with have had some pretty good success. So, but yeah, R059 definitely the way to go, which is kind of cool. But no, it's definitely a fun time. Like again, like Alps subject, and one thing that's kind of cool, I want to share a really cool story with Alps. So again, I post my stuff on like Discord and Reddit, and part of why I do that is just maybe like put the information out there. And I had a user on Reddit post an Alps build, and they tagged me in it, and they like in their description of the post, they said like seeing a lot of the stuff that I was doing like inspired them to do it. They watched some of my VODs on YouTube and kind of learned how to do it themselves. And then they posted this really awesome build, and I'm like, that is awesome. Like I when I saw the post, like genuinely made my day, because that's part of why I post my stuff online is like I want to be able to teach people how to do this stuff, because I think one thing about this hobby is so much more than just Cherry MX. I understand why Cherry MX is so prolific and so dominant within the hobby. Like they kind of took over the market after Alps Electric exited. I know EC is still kind of there, and like Hall Effect is there, but like Cherry MX is the undoubted king of this hobby. But like I tell people, like there are so many other great ways to build keyboards and switch types to explore, whether you're doing Topra, EC, like Hall Effect, like Alps, like Omron, like other switch, like even like buckling spring stuff. Like there's so many great switch types to explore, and other amazing ways. Because one thing I've kind of talked to people who are, especially the clients who are interested in like Alps builds, is they kind of say like the Cherry MX side of the hobby has gotten very stale. Like I watch your group buy reviews, Simon, like religiously. And one thing I say, like, a lot of your quotes is like, oh, it's just another basic 60 or another basic 65. And I'm like, Yeah, they all kind of blend together. Like especially when you get in like the 65 and like
I mean, once
TKL.
you've seen like 1,060%, like
Yeah.
it's gonna be a 60%, unless like
Exactly.
it's got horns coming out the ass or something.
Hey, the Hellcat is looking at you, okay? The Owl Labs Hellcat is definitely looking at you and feels attacked. But I think it's interesting too. So like I tell people like there's other ways to explore this hobby. And that's why like a project like the Seal 80 is so fascinating to me because like it's gonna show people like, hey, there's another side to this hobby that can give you more enjoyment and a whole different sound and feel profile, which I think is really cool. Like again, I've gotten into like recently into the IBM stuff, and it's really kind of cool. Like those are a lot of freaking work. I think those are probably more work than Alps, especially when you get a clapped one. Like my Battleship, like I had to bolt mod it because like half the rivets were gone, so there was no like half the keys weren't registering.
Shit, how many rivets are there on the Battleship? There must be like 50 or something.
Oh, there's I think I have like 86 screws and bolts. It's a freaking nightmare to like bolt mod a Battleship.
Yeah. Reminder, everyone. IBM boards were made a long time
SSK.
ago. Yeah. So like when they were put together, there were a lot of fucking screws. Well, a lot of rivets.
But. Oh yeah. And I think that's the interesting thing, like the Battleship too, is like I love that people are like also like looking at the vintage side of this hobby and using those boards as inspiration. I know like the 21XX by Pontus, like that was a project I really was interested in. It was a little too, I was tight at the time. I was tied up in too many other projects.
Bro, I'm still tight. Like, even if I had been saving up until now, I can't fucking afford it. But
I couldn't swing it.
Yeah, it's too much.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's too expensive. It's just too much for me.
It was too much for me. But Simon, you bring up a good point. I like that you bring that up because I know some people like another part of this hobby that like, I'm interested in, especially my personal like metal boards. Like I've only ever been interested in like the high end of the hobby. Again, I've gotten rid of most of my clout boards, but like the boards I've kept, those are still very expensive boards. Like a newcomer to the hobby or like someone who's more casual would not go after like a lot of the boards that I have. And I always tell people it's very relative. When I tell people like, hey, this keyboard is $500, most people have a heart attack. But then when you explain and look at the background and logistics of how that board was made or how many of that board was made, like it's kind of like economies of scale. Like you got to understand like the CCRX, like I like how your website breaks down like, hey, we only have 25 people. It's going to cost like almost $600. But if we have like 75 people, we get to like 350. So like a lot of people don't understand, like if you make more of something, it's going to be a lot cheaper. Like I think my perfect example is like QWERTY Keys can make the boards they make for the price
they make 7,000 to 15,000 boards.
But also most people don't have several $1 million worth of capital to make that many boards. So that's why like I always have to explain to newcomers too, like why group buys are a thing. Yes. Are they frustrating? Are they annoying? Yes. But again, your average creator, even someone who's big as like Geon, they don't have the capital to make a QWERTY Keys level batch of freaking keyboards.
Oh, Geon could swing it, but he'd need to stop his day job.
Wait, that's not his day job?
No, his day job, he does CNC for...
Okay.
You're gonna have to bleep this. And most keyboard stuff, this is the part where we can unbleep, is produced in like partner factories or in China.
Okay.
And he just oversees it with the help of Glare.
Yeah.
So Glare mostly leads like the keyboard stuff, and Geon deals with the major business, which is, CNC.
Nice. That's like super cool. It kind of checks out because I knew Geon owned his own factory. I'm like, who owns a factory just for keyboards? I'm like, that kind of checks out. Like he does something else during the day that like pays the majority of the bills. So
I mean, I think like long term, the idea is to try and do keyboards in house. Yeah. I know that he's invested into an anodizer.
Yeah.
After me pushing him for years to invest into an anodizer.
Well, because I know they were moving a lot of the anodization to China. Because I have the Pisante, the Leggera, and then the Leggera TKL, and I paid tariffs getting those boards because I think the anodization was done in China, but in the eyes of the U.S. government, it was made in China, which was really annoying.
I mean, I think that whole thing was made in China, if I'm not mistaken. But it was after like regulations had changed, it became a lot harder to do anodizing, and the best thing to do, like it was impossible to like start a new anodizing company. You needed to acquire one. Like, and I think like long term, maybe like Geon Works like turns into something that can actually like function in-house machining, in-house anodizing, if he builds out a team for that. if I was Geon right now looking at like the market, I probably wouldn't make the investment.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Geon has made the correct decisions business wise for basically the whole time, and I respect that.
Well, it's funny, the topic of Geon works. Like, Geon is genuinely one of my favorite people within the space. Like, most of my modern Alps builds are in Geon boards. Like, I have 3 Frog TKLs that are built with Alps. I have all the Frog minis models built with Alps. I have a Geon I have a W1AT, which I'm working. I have a PCB that someone made that's Alps. So we're gonna build that with Alps, which is gonna be so sick. Oh, it's gonna be so sick when we build it with
Are you
Alps.
going 1.2 or 1.6?
It's I have the PCB. My friend Alec Tardy, he's an amazing PCB designer. And he made a run of PCBs for the W1AT, and I saw his build, and I'm like, oh my god, I have to do that. Yeah. So we're gonna get that one built. I think my only Geon board that's not built with Alps is my F140 722, because I'm not bothering to try and build a 40% Alps board because I'm not dealing with keycaps. Because like another limiting thing with Alps is going to be keycaps. Like that's a really hard thing. That's why I tell people, like, if you're gonna build like especially like a modern Alps board, 60% of TKL or a full size if you are like if you have the money to build like one of the 3 full sizes that I know of.
Yeah.
Because like keycap compatibility is really hard. I mean, there are the DCS sets, but I tell people like especially like newcomers to Alps or some of the clients that they all want DCS, and I tell them there's only 6 of them, and they only made about 100 each of those, and they haven't been made in a long time. So go on Mac Market, and you're probably going to pay a premium for those sets.
Yeah.
And to my knowledge, I don't think DCS will ever run another DCS Alp sets because the MOQ policy is so different now, and I don't think it's worth it for them to make it. Unless I'm rich. If I was independently wealthy and I could just buy 200 sets from DCS.
DCS Hangul, which is Dysub PBT Alps, and MX is running right now. You can buy it right now. It's $140 for a TKL kit. It's expensive.
Oh, so there is an Alps kit with it?
But you can buy it. Yeah. There's MX was 120. God, my memory is like, boom.
Wait, are you saying it's 120?
Wait, is it on Blackdrop or who's running it?
No. It was on Makibio, you know the one.
Let me find it. Okay, I put it in chat here.
Oh crud! I didn't know that. I didn't know that they were doing another. They were doing an Alps kit.
Yep. And like basically the secret is time machine. You need to know 3 years before you're gonna make your Alps build. Buy the switches then, like I did. I have DCS 9009 Alps.
Yeah.
Which like I got 3 years ago, and Seal 80's coming in. It's perfect.
Okay, yeah. So I'll tell you this. God, I hate you guys. And you're gonna make me spend more money. I hate you guys. And I have another set I need to get because I'll tell you, I have 4 of the 6 original DCS Alp sets. I have Alpine Winter, which is like that was a pain in the butt to find. That's like that's an old set. I have 9009. I have Reaper, and I have White on Black.
We could just make. We could make one, right? Like, I could just email Melissa and like we could fucking do it, dude. Like, we have Blackdrop. We could do scaling MOQ.
Okay, yeah, I'd be down because like there's definitely interest, but like I said, like I know like trying to do a run of like 100 to 200 sets just isn't realistic. And I know
I think it is.
Really? Do you think there's enough demand? Okay,
I think there is. If it's good enough kitting, a clean enough key set, running now at a good enough price where like people can see the price breakdown, and be like, okay, if we sell 100, it's going to be $125 for a full base kit. For Alps, which has never fucking happened. But it could theoretically happen. So like, as long as you put your money where your mouth is, as long as you can show that I can do this at this price, why not?
A quick question about that DCS Hangul. Are they doing a numpad kit or is it just the TKL kit?
Just TKL.
Okay. Good to know. Yeah, I have some TKL projects.
I was annoyed by that.
Yeah, I would love to do a full size. So that's why like I saved.
I mean, it'll match your DCS 9009 pad.
Okay, yeah. Well, it's funny because like my Seal with Reaper, like I wanted to do this black on black set, and like Reaper was one of my few DCS sets that has my only DCS set that has the number pad. So like I wanted to utilize it, and I had my Seal was in black, so that's why like we did the black on black. I'll say this though, with Alps, like the one thing I've learned with DCS Alps is that they're really picky on stabilizers. Like for Cherry MX, I like Type Plus stabilizers. Like that's a stabilizer I've really kind of fallen in love with. DCS Alps does not like Type Plus stabilizers. I'll be completely honest. Because Type Plus are really tight. So in terms of my building with DCS, I've realized cherry clip-ins are kind of the go-to with Alps for the DCS sets. Because
fun fact, use cherry clip-ins all the time, and you will not have problems. It's perfect. Like, dude, if you're watching and you don't know what stabs to use for like anything, cherry clip-ins. Yeah. And then if there's a problem, maybe look at other options. But cherry clip-ins are gonna fucking work every time.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing that's tough, because like the issue, I just tell people, if you're going to build Alps and you want to do DCS, my recommendation, folks, don't use Type Plus, because again, I love them. But what happens is with the spring, you actuate the switch and the switch gets stuck. Because for some reason, I think the Type Plus are too tight in their tolerances and the spring can't push the keycap back up. So like I was just my experience, like cherry clip-ins are the way to go for DCS. And I think I might take Simon's recommendation and just start using cherry clip-ins for everything going forward.
Dude, like, why would you not? They're so affordable.
That's you can get a set of them for like $10 on Cannon Keys. It's like, I know Alex Sotos has like a freaking crate of them.
$5.
Oh, are we sharing?
How many cherry clip-ins do you guys have? Holy crap!
Someone keeps wanting to shame me, Finley. Like, oh, I have 1,000 switches. For the audience, I'm holding up a bag of my cherry clip-ins from
I freaking love it, my guys. Those are beautiful.
Let me get the wires.
James, I love you guys. That's me with cherry mix switches. I think I have like 6,000 cherry mix switches here.
That's so concerning.
Because I'm not. I'm making up for other parts of my life that I don't have.
Oh, right, baby. Boys. Oh, baby.
All right, here you go. You want to do some weird ass flexing? Yeah, I mean, it's not cherry mix, but I got Alps. Ooh. I got Alps. Oh shit! Sorry.
Wait, what happened?
Sorry, my screen cut out. I have Alps here. I literally have this whole box. There's probably a few $1,000s worth of Alps switches in this box.
Simon, let's
Hubert, you got his address. Let's go.
Yeah, let's go. No.
Yeah, so it's just like, it's crazy. So like, I tell people, like, it's definitely, and also there's probably like 25 vintage keyboards in various forms of disassembly off camera here. So it's like, it's definitely a fun time. But I mean, another one that's kind of cool too. Where is it? I mean, in terms of like, I'll show you like an insane Alps build. Simon will appreciate this. So I did this OmniKey Ultra. There's $600 worth of switches in this damn thing.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, big boy keyboard right here.
Yeah.
So this thing's badass. I have amber Alps in this, so each one's about $5 to $6 a switch. I did the math between like $550 to $600.
Ambers are $5 to $6 now?
Yeah.
Fuck, I would pay fucking $2 for an amber.
Now, to be fair, I didn't pay that. Like, I can like with especially like hunting.
Like,
Alps,
I presume they're like mint, right? They're like brand new.
Oh yeah, they're mint, and I fully restored them. At an R059. So these puppies are freaking glorious. And this is a super clean OmniKey. So I freaking love this. Also, like vintage boards, like as I've gone on my vintage journey, like Northgate OmniKeys have become my favorite. Like this is a really cool line of keyboards made by Northgate Computer Systems in the 80s and 90s. And the keyboards were so good, they made them all the way until like 2011. So like there are super late models of these keyboards with like really like cheap ass like simplified Alps that were made up until like 10 or 12 years ago, which is kind of crazy. So yeah, I have like, there's 15 models I've identified, and I have 9 of the 15. So I'm trying to collect the whole collection. The idea is to have a different Alp switch type in each of them. So I got really lucky, and I got a lot of 200 brown Alps for like $250. I got brown Alps for like dirt cheap, comparatively speaking.
Well, that's not even comparatively. Like, I've harvested, and they were like more than $1 a switch.
Oh, dude, they're like $5 a switch. If you got like an old IBM 5140, you're looking at about $5 a switch.
Yeah.
Yeah. Simon, go on eBay and look up IBM 5140.
Bro,
they're like,
why am I going to go on eBay? Yeah, let me go to like
the worst place to purchase.
Yeah,
I'm trying to give you the I want
rare,
you to burn
edition vintage IBM 52 out of 1,000. Yeah, fuck that shit. I'm going to go to fucking Marketplace and type in old PC.
That's literally what I do.
Scroll for fucking years.
Dude, that's what I do. I found some really good stuff. Like, I haven't gotten lucky in my vintage hunting finding stuff like that, but I was at a keyboard meet And a guy walked up to me, he had this really sick Alps keyboard. I said, how much you buy it? He said, I got it for $1 at Goodwill. I'm like, I hate you. I've not found good crap like that. Yeah. No, dude, there's a story. No, there was a...
I mean, first of all, you're in California.
Yeah. We're really lucky. There's a lot of good stuff out here. But no, it was crazy because I was scrolling like some of the Alps on Desk Authority, and there was a story I read from a few years ago. A guy was like was going through like Goodwill, and he found a neon green Alps keyboard. He's paid $5 for it. I'm like, I hate you. Like, for those of you who don't know, within Alps are kind of expensive switches. Like, you can get them for like maybe like $1 to $1.50 to $2 a switch for like most of the common ones. There are outliers like brown Alps and amber Alps, which are like about $5 a switch. And then you get your neon green Alps, which are
back
in
my day, they were $5 to $8.
They're like $20 to $30 a switch now.
Jeez.
Yeah, so if you want one of the keyboards that has them, you're looking at $2,000 to $3,000 for a set. And that's not even the most crazy. If you want SKCL, so linear amber Alps or the linear red striped amber Alps, the last one that sold was about $8,000.
Yeah, but like,
yeah.
Okay, so here's the thing.
Go for it, Simon.
I mean, you said you watch Group Art Review, so you know that like I consider linear Alps like an absolute waste of plastic.
Absolutely,
like,
I agree.
Tanghus is not here to defend himself.
Well, I mean, like,
keep going. I'm sorry.
Listen, the beauty of this hobby is the ability that like we could use the shit that we like. And, and if you happen to like something that other people don't like, that's fucking awesome because you're not competing.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah.
But linear Alps are just the fucking worst.
Yeah.
They're just objectively bad. They're like MX tactiles.
They're just
by design, they are flawed.
Yeah. Well, and it's weird too. Like most of like my Alps builds are going to be tactile or clicky. Like I do have a couple of linear Alps builds just to have them on hand. Because like one thing that I like doing too, like here in Los Angeles, we're really fortunate. Is we have a very large keyboard community here. Like there's a lot of really big people within the space. And we have Keeb Life here every fall. Like if you guys could ever, I know you guys are based in the Midwest. If you guys could ever get the opportunity to come out here for Keeb Life, it's amazing.
Can. Like my sister's in LA. So
heck yeah, dude.
It's amazing.
To stay on. Being able like Keeb Life, this past one was my second one going. And it was amazing. Like there's like literally like 1,500 people show up. There's probably over 1,000 keyboards there. Wow. And it's not just like your entry level stuff. There are people who have like OG South Korean customs, OTDs. You have like, name it. Like you have this, like there was one guy, I think you guys probably know him from like this guy. He goes by Jace. He has like almost complete Norbauer collection, which is just like kind of crazy.
Oh, wow.
It's just, he's crazy. He had a few Senecas, which is crazy to say you have multiples.
Yeah, exactly.
Which was really cool. Like I actually got to meet like Norbauer himself. I got to meet like Annie Nguyen, like Teja and other people within the hobby. And it was really kind of cool meeting those, but it's also nice talking just like your average normal user in the hobby about keyboards. And there was one thing that was really cool. Like I always like it too, is like I was showing around, before we were waiting to go into the hall, I was showing people one of my Alps builds, one of my 60%, so I could like carry around easily. And there was this one guy who had a KBD Fans Agar. And the Agar is like a cool, fun board for what it is. And I have an Agar Mini, but I got the brass one that weighs like 8 pounds.
Yeah.
So I saw this guy's Agar and I complimented him on it. I said, hey, it's a really cool board. I like your keycap set. And he said, I'm kind of ashamed of it. I said, why? And he said, well, it's not like it's a air quote budget keyboard. And I'm like, dude, I said, don't be ashamed of it. It's your keyboard. Like you built it, like you customized it. Like it sits on your desk. You probably enjoy using it. Like, be proud of the keyboard. But yeah, it's not a Singa. It's not like an OTD, but like it's your keyboard. Like be proud of it. And like also like who the hell cares that a keyboard's over $500? It still clicks and clacks. It still does the same thing. It may be prettier, but like I like that.
I don't know, dude. If my friends don't have keyboards that are at least $500, like how can I even trust them as a human?
Exactly.
Being?
I mean, yeah. How can you not have like meme boards like this? Come on, people.
I want to ask one quick question.
Yeah.
First of all, please continue. I'm dropping off in 5 minutes because I have to go to the science center. But please continue. When you guys are done, just leave the chat room and it'll automatically end it. But I want to ask real quick, James. When you hear Finley talk about all this, I hear someone that not only has a deep respect for the hobby, but the history of the hobby in general. I think we can really know. It's very obvious when someone comes in and just wants to for lack of better words, make money off the hobby. And then it's very obvious when someone genuinely cares about the hobby, like Finley does. And as a designer or someone who designs keyboards, do you love working with people like Finley? Someone who may not have wanted to start reviewing boards, making money off boards, or having keyboards be in a lot of facets of their life, streaming, content creation, things like that. It's just so awesome to see someone that has come into the hobby and has had all these opportunities and has taken all these opportunities. Does it make you feel like, oh wow, I really need to work with this guy in terms of maybe setting a board in the future, especially if you do something with Alps and things like that, versus someone that's like, and again, I'm not hating. This is not hate. I'm just saying, compared to someone who maybe James sends a board to DBOki, who gets a lot of views, who may not be as, it's more aesthetic, the videos, and it's totally fine, things like that. What do you think overall, James? Sending someone to something to Finley, or sending someone to like someone that can just get views and things like that? Do you feel more easy with someone like Finley?
No, of course. Like I always feel like it's really exciting to work with people who are actually passionate about keyboards, and especially like in such a, like, I would still say like it's a very niche space in keyboards, like Alps customs, especially, right?
Yeah.
But I see a lot of your work pop up, from time to time.
Yeah.
Every time when I go on Instagram, I see some of your newer builds. It's always like very exciting for me to see what's happening in that space at that time. Yeah. And in the past, I've worked with other streamers who, you send boards to them and then they put it on their closet for like 2 years, 3 years, and then they forget about it. So
I think I got 2 or 3 of those from you.
Yeah.
Definitely, I'm looking forward to working with Finley if there's ever the opportunity. I think we did have a brief discussion in the past when I built my first Alps custom, which was what was the K3, right? And we did I did it in a full PC custom case, which was like, of course, like suited the Alps switches a lot. But yeah, I'm looking forward to also tinkering with Alps myself going forward. So that's always very exciting for me.
I mean, this is the year, right? This is the year of Alps. Like we're all doing an Alps build, right? I mean, I'm doing.
I'm just lazy most of the time.
They're worth it. I think they're absolutely worth it.
I'm going to tell you what's going to happen, James. Here's what's going to happen. The Seal 80 is like, we're going to get our review units. Both of us are going to make videos that are going to be like, you need to fucking do Alps, bitches. And then the price of Alps is going to fucking like blow off the chart.
Oh, God.
Nobody's going to be able to get switches or caps.
That's why I'm stocked up.
Exactly. Then we dump, right?
Oh,
and
no.
Can
I'm with Simon on that.
Here's the thing. Before I hand it off to you guys. And again, this is not for everybody. If you just want to buy a board, if you just want to buy MX and you're happy with it for the rest of your life, totally fine. But the fact that you can go into so many different niches in the hobby, for me, in my opinion, there's not a reason to ever be tired of the hobby. Nope. Haven't done EC personally, haven't done Alps personally. So there's so many things to do. It's also awesome. So
the only limitation is your wallet.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Well, and it's also, I tell people too that, I mean, I'd love for you to hear this, Hubert, really quick.
Go.
I've had the opportunity to review a few boards last year. I got to do the Baron boards, BP1. That's the McLaren board. It's finally, NyxKeys picked up the project. I was so happy. I got to do the ETAR 87 by the Bloody Easy, and I also got to take a look at Keeb Tech's Secret 65. So those are the 3 like boards that were actually sent to me. Now, the one thing I always tell people, like when I say, whether it's a designer or a vendor, I make it very clear that I'm not doing this for money. I'm also not doing this to get free keyboards. I'm doing this because I genuinely believe in your project, and I would love the opportunity to help spread the word for this project and to help make it possible to help you guys meet whatever your MOQ is.
This guy is so polite.
No, and I mean it. I tell them like
I might review it.
Yeah,
I might
so,
not.
Like, I tell them like if you want to send me a unit and you say like, hey, we can spare a review unit and you are welcome to keep it. Cool. But I also tell them like, I'm not doing this for free keyboards. Like I'm doing it to check out the board. And if you need me to send your review unit back, I get it, because I get a lot of these designers don't have a lot of money. They don't have the capital to like review, because also a lot of the review units are the prototypes, and I know those are very, very expensive. And I tell the like with the BP ones, I only requested one. He sent me 2 of only the 3 prototypes he has in existence.
Wow.
And I knew that he was in talks with NyxKeys at the time, so I told him like, hey, like I pitched him the Alps idea. I did the Cherry MX build, but I told him like I'm gonna be sending these back to you, and but like the ETAR, like the Bloody Easy said, like, hey, like I'm gonna be I'm gonna send you the silver unit. I'll need that back eventually, but like I'm gonna be sending you the brown Alex Otis unit for you to keep. Right. And then Keeb Tech, they sent me the Secret 65, and I said, like, I did my content. I said, all right, I'm ready to mail it back to you, Chester. And he said, no, dude, that's for you to keep. I'm like, oh, cool. So like, I just make it very.
I could keep this.
Yeah, and I make it clear, like I'm not here to take resources from you. That's I hate you, Simon. I hate you so much.
You still have it?
I hate you.
Said I could keep it. He said I could keep it. Okay.
I hate you so much, sir.
Finley said I could keep it.
Yeah. So like Jones too. That's why I make it very clear to vendors and designers that like I'm not here to keep your boards. I want to help promote the project, get the word out there, show people if we can build it with Alps, show them like, hey, here's something more insane that you can do with your board. There's a company called NyxKeys up in Canada. Mm-hmm. And I pitched, they're working on a TKL right now. And I pitched the idea of like building it with Alps. And they said, yeah, let's do that. So they said like, when they're running their numpad right now, when they get to their TKL later this year, they said like, hey, we're going to send you a unit with the express intention of like showing people like what is another crazy thing that we can do with the sport, which is going to be really cool. So that's one thing I'm really excited for, is like working with different people, working with different vendors, and kind of showcasing some crazy things that you can do with people's boards. And that's like the really kind of fun thing too. And again, the creators I've talked to like are very appreciative. Like, hey, I'm not just trying to get free shit out of them. Like I'm doing it because I genuinely like what they're doing and want to support their project. Because I think a lot of people want to get into like the content creation space to make money and to get free shit. Mm-hmm. And that's not the right way to do it. You should start it because it's fun and you care about it. And eventually, if that passion will show through, and it'll eventually get noticed. And then, hey, like if opportunities open up where like someone wants to send you something, then you can kind of go there. But you shouldn't start immediately at the guy. It's my first stream. Like someone like send me free shit to build on stream. Like that's not how it works.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people have that expectation, and I'm like, that's not the way to do it. And also too, like I also like share my methods to people. Like people ask me all the time, like, how do I who want to get into Alps or want to do something like this, or, like restore vintage keyboards? And I show them how I do it. That's part of why I put my VOD, like I stream on Twitch and I put the VODs. Like I've had people message me and say like, hey, I watched your VODs and that showed me how to do my own custom Alps build or like restore my vintage keyboard. So like that's the thing too, is like I like doing commissions and I like taking people's money, but like at the end of the day, if I can help inspire and teach people to do this stuff themselves, like at the end of the day, that's really why I do this.
Hell yeah. Yeah. See, this is why we like you, and this is why we do it, right? For people.
This is why Hubert needs to leave.
Yeah, I need to get Hubert out of here.
Now, please keep going. By the way, unless
we're just gonna immediately stop this.
No, I have
nothing to talk about.
So. Yeah. No, I just want to say before I go, Finley, thank you for what you do. Keep doing what you're doing, because I'm not saying that you're young. I'm saying that for this hobby to keep continuing and being such a great place, we need people like you getting into the hobby and then sharing not only what you've learned and helping others, but just sharing your passion. So I appreciate it. I can't wait to listen to the rest of this episode. So
I'll
talk to you guys later.
And then Simon, I had a question for you. Do you know what Alp switches you're going to build yours with? Because I know you're getting the blue metal unit. What are you thinking?
I'm not getting the blue metal unit.
Oh, you're not? Okay. You're doing polycarbonate?
Yep. I'm doing polycarb with blue Alps.
Oh, hell yeah. That's the way to do it.
Wait, let me see. I think Sensi was trying to send me some bonus stuff. Where's Sensi? Bonjour, no. Sir.
Yeah, because they were sending, Sensi, again, they're sending me the green metal board. And then the MX Alps solder PCB with the plate. And then they're sending me the Space Invader PCB. I have to get the plate made for Space Invaders, but like that's what we're going to be doing for it.
Space Invaders could be lit.
Oh, well, I'm doing clicky Space Invaders. So I thought about, someone said, we'll do tactile linears. I'm like, no, clicky is where it is for like vintage switches. So like I think
okay.
that's
so I also got offered SKCP.
Oh, nice.
He said he got a 5576, and the switches are pretty nice. So like I might be getting both blues and
Oh, that would be amazing.
some
Because
CPs.
because I know you've been doing Alps builds before they kind of blew up too. I know you used to have, I know when you were in Dubai, I know you had a couple Alps builds, right?
Oh yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I like Alps. I mean, Dubai is difficult because like you can't go and like find an AT101 at a recycling center. You
Yeah.
have to like pay to import stuff internationally.
Yeah. Yeah, because I
But
think also too, like it was really interesting too. Like again, I like as someone who's been like watching your content for a long time, like the one thing that I was like, I know you had to do it by necessity, but like it was part of me was really sad when you had to like enter that phase of like, oh, I have all
selling
these
all my
great
shit.
boards, and you have to sell them all. Like I get it, like life shit is more important, but
I
like
mean, honestly,
Yeah.
I was fine with it because like the whole time, I mean, like the world that we live in,
yeah,
money is losing value so quickly and has
yeah,
been like every day we've been alive, and you're better off buying assets, which is why all the
yeah,
rich people own property and shit. But like at the end of the day, I was able to sell keyboards, and they were able to be a store of value. That wasn't why I bought them, but
yeah,
like I don't know, I I'm sad for like a couple boards that like I had an emotional connection with, but like
yeah,
I could just get more keyboards. It's
yeah.
fine, you
Yeah,
know.
how is it being back stateside? I know for you, like I know you came
I
back
picked
probably
the
from last year.
wrong fucking time to
I
move
know,
back to the
wrong side.
US,
I know
dude.
it's awful. Like everything's on fire, and I'm like, oh
And
well,
we were
this is
like, we had
delightful.
everything planned like years ahead of time. So like the move date was the move date. We're just
Yeah,
like, yep, let's go live in oh god,
America.
the ni-
Yeah,
1939 Germany.
I know it's crazy. I mean, yeah, it's well. The one thing I'll tell you too with like the vintage stuff. I mean, just like being here in the States again. I know we have the weird dynamics that we do, which kind of suck. But the one thing I do know is how fortunate, like especially since I've gotten into vintage stuff like Alps. I've talked with people in other parts of the world, and I realize how fortunate I am to have access to the vintage stuff that we do have. Like whether you're looking on Marketplace, like the worst place like eBay, or like other like going to like Goodwill or Recycling Center, you can find so many great things. But I've talked to people who are like in Europe, like parts of Asia, like Australia. Some of the vintage stuff is like really hard to find. That's like so
Yeah.
common for me, and vice versa. I know there's certain like my friends who are like China or Korea probably get
Ooh.
access to some cool stuff that I can't get access to,
Yeah.
without importing it. So that's like the cool
Yeah.
thing, because I had a friend in New Zealand, um, who's also really into vintage keyboards. I sent him like this 50-pound package. He sent bought a bunch of keyboards from different users in the United States, and they sent them to me, and then I packaged them up, and then we sent this like literally like massive box of keyboards over to New Zealand. And it had like an IBM Battleship, it had some OmniKeys, it had like Apple stuff and like Space Invader stuff. And he said, dude, like he said he's probably gonna be the only person in New Zealand with all that stuff, which is like
I
just kind of
haven't
crazy.
I haven't capitalized. Like I need to buy a battleship. I don't own a battleship, which
Why
is
don't you
wild
own
to me.
one? Like get the
Well,
M120. There's one
exactly.
yeah.
I mean, it's money.
They're less than like $100. So like
I know, like literally, like the only thing I've bought in the last year has been like switches and a singular key set that like I needed as an emergency.
Wait, what was
But
it? I
like
think I
I
was on
guess
one
I'll
of
buy
your
one.
streams and Geon was having a sale and you bought like 1,000 Gatoron Raws or something like that.
Yeah, they were 9 cents each.
It was crazy. Yeah, it was like, what the frick? That's awesome.
Bruh.
Yeah, look at that. That's the only switch you'll ever need.
Well, I've also got like the same amount of like other switches that are just insane. But like, yeah, this is how you buy switches. By the way, if you're ever going to buy switches, don't be stupid and buy switches for 60 cents each. Wait until like they're 9 cents each, and then buy 1,000.
Yeah, that's like the thing I think is so impressive too. Is like, I know too on your stream you cover a lot of like the news that happens in the hobby in addition to that. And I know the one thing that we've just kind of seen is like, we'll have a really good vendor that's a staple in the hobby, and then they'll suddenly like close doors. Like I know, like I came in late 2023. I know you guys probably saw through people who like boomed in COVID, had their moment, and then like just closed doors. I know we recently had like I know Keebs for all and having issues recently. I know there's been other vendors who have just kind of said like, hey, we're kind of exiting, or they just exit scam altogether. which is really kind of unfortunate. But I like that we have vendors, at least hopefully staples for the foreseeable future as well.
I mean, we're in whatever the crypto winter equivalent of keyboards is.
Yeah.
So we're in like the down season.
Yeah.
And generally, the vendors that survive through the down season do well.
Yeah.
You know, I think we're okay.
Yeah, I mean, the one vendors I like too. I think one of the vendors, some of the like North American vendors, of course, like OmniType, like Canon Keys, like Novel Keys, DaVinci. Like DaVinci is literally in my backyard. Like I'm literally like 15, 20 minutes from their warehouse, which is really nice. So like that's like my Seal 80 that I'm going to be getting is coming via DaVinci. So Sensi sent it to DaVinci, and then I can either drive to their warehouse and pick it up, or if they really want to mail it to me, and I'm like a few miles away, like whatever. But like that's like DaVinci, like I'm really I went to their meet back in June last year, and that was really kind of cool getting to like meet their crew in person. And it was small. It was only about 50 people who went there, but it was kind of nice, like going to like a smaller meet and being able to see that. Cause like here in LA, like we're so fortunate with meets. Like there's like a good meet like every month here. Whether it be like through the colleges or like different vendors who are local here, or just designers hosting on.
I think 50 is like a nice like sweet spot for like a non-major like meetup, you know?
Oh, it's perfect. And I think it's too cool too. Like and again, the small meets are nice because like we also I'm blanking on the user, but when we had the fires here in LA, we had a user who had like an amazing keyboard collection. He had like Mauricio Works, like Linwork stuff, like really nice high-end stuff. And he and his family lost everything in the fires. And at the meet, he posted on Reddit. It was literally just like the steel body of the board that was all that was left, because everything else, all the aluminum and like of course the PCBs and the plastic like evaporated in the fire. But he brought it to the meet like this like charred steel husk of what was once like a Mauricio Works keyboard. I'm like, God, that's crazy. But what was really kind of cool too with our community, so many people here were like sending him, like once he and his family got like a new housing situation in the interim, people started sending him stuff to like rebuild his collection, because he lost the entirety of his. He said the only keyboard he grabbed, because he literally had like a couple of minutes, was like his Neo 65, because that was his daily driver, which was really crazy. Because considering he had all these like super cool high end boards, like in the heat of the moment when like it's life or death, he just grabbed the Neo 65. Like he could have grabbed anything, and that's what he grabbed. But people were sending him keyboards, and not just like QWERTY keys and like budget stuff. People were sending him like nice high end stuff. Because people realized like people were so generous in this community out here in LA, like to help him rebuild his hobby. And I thought that was really, really cool. Like we were kind of using a moment of tragedy with the fires that happened last year, and like kind of just kind of like helping support someone within our community who was affected by it. And I thought that was really kind of cool. Just like the keyboard community here that is in Southern California. And we're also really fortunate to having two major universities here with like USC and UCLA. Again, my alma mater is USC, and that's kind of what got me into Alps, actually. I went to I've been really active with USC's keyboard club and kind of supporting them as alumni. And I went to their meet in like March, April of last year. And they walk up to me with this bag of these old keyboards, and they said, "Here, we want to gift you these." I'm like, "What are they?" I said, like, "They're old Alps keyboards." I'm like, "Oh, cool. What are those?" Yeah, that's another thing too. Like my rise in Alps has literally happened in April of last year. So it's been very, very quick how I just kind of quickly dove head first. But like I took the keyboards home and I sat on them for a couple of weeks. And then my buddy who got me into keyboards had done an Alps build, and I tried it. I'm like, "Oh my God, this is awesome." And I realized, wait, I have 4 of these keyboards. So 3 of those keyboards, I actually harvested the switches and I put them in 3 Geon boards, which is really cool. So like my Geon, my Geon Works Frog Mini right here has Salmon Alps. So this board right here has Alps switches that came from a keyboard that was saved from the University of Southern California's e-waste pile. So I have 3 builds. So again, Salmon Alps, I have a board with Salmon Alps, white dampened Alps, and then black Alps. Again, very common switches, but the story is really cool for me, because like I know where those keyboards came from during their service life. They were somewhere in the university, whether they were in like a professor's office, they were in like the library, like a computer lab. They could have helped someone do like their homework or their dissertation. So I like the story of where these switches came from. And again, that's something that's really tough with like the vintage boards. It's unless it has like a marking of like where it was, you really don't know where those keyboards were during their service life. So that's the one thing I like is like if I can be able to track down where the heck these boards were.
I mean, the secret is to get something so good that it had no service life. It's
oh yeah,
service
new
life
old
is sitting
stock.
in
I
a
mean, I
box
had
in a
this.
warehouse.
This is one of my NyxKeys OmniKeys new old stock. This is a NyxKeys OmniKey 102. I had built with Cream Alps. So really,
creamy.
really beautiful. Oh, I have a bunch. Well, my OmniKeys, I have a bunch of them that are like new old stock. So like I have this OmniKey 101, which is super sick. So that one's really awesome. I mean, I have my Crown. Where the hell did it go? I have my Crown Jewel OmniKey right here. Also got new old stock. This is the one that has blue Alps. This has that beautiful gold badge, which is really sick. And this has all blue Alps, which is super sick. So I love my blue Alps keyboards. I have a DC 2014 coming in tomorrow, which is going to be like, choice when we get that restored. So like I'm like blue Alps are definitely my favorite, but that's the thing I think is cool within the hobby. Like, and I know you have also been to some really cool meetups over in the Midwest. I know like you went to one in Milwaukee, which is really cool. I know I was listening to one of the previous podcasts, you and Tanghus, Hubert were talking about it, which is like really cool. You guys drove like 8 hours for that thing or something to Milwaukee or whatever?
Yeah, it wasn't so bad. It was like 4.5 hours each way or something.
Okay,
I mean, if you compare it to like getting on a flight, you're gonna waste 2 hours at each airport. So you may as well just have the comfort of your own car.
Well, and I know also too, like, was that Milwaukee? Was that the one that Bull went to, or was he at the Minneapolis one?
Bull was at both.
Okay.
We got to see Bull at both venues.
Oh, cool. Yeah. Well, Bull is interesting. Like, I love Bull. He's like one of my favorite people in the hobby. And the one thing I always
Bull's a fucking cutie.
Bull's amazing. I always forget how young he is. Again, I'm a young guy. Like, I'm 29. But like, I when I first saw saw one of Bull's streams, I'm like, there's no way he's that young.
Child labor.
I'm like, what the heck? Like, how?
I mean, that's the first time
I was a young guy.
I immediately like my brain was like child labor.
Yeah, like Bull. Like it just kind of blew my mind.
He's an adult.
Oh, I know. He's a young guy. Like he's in his 20s, but like it. Like that's one thing I love with Bull too. Is like I love that we have people. Oh my god, I'm not like people who are a little younger, like Bull, like taking the opportunity to like become a designer, like sell boards, like running a website as like a vendor. Like I think that's really, really cool. And the thing with Bull too, he's working on a battleship right now. And I'm like, I really freaking hope, because I hope I like his design a little bit more than the 21XX. Again, I know Pontus was more faithful to the Unsaver, the IBM Unsaver.
Do you like the fact that the port comes out?
I think I love how stupid it is. That's my kind of stupid.
I think it's nearly there. I think the design still needs some work, but conceptually, it checks the box of, okay, now you have my interest.
Yeah. So I told Bull, like, I asked him like if he would consider doing like for his solder piece, if he has a solder PCB, if he would add the holes for Alps and Cherry MX. That's one thing I always ask too with designers. Like, it's not much more work to add the Alps solder holes on the solder PCBs. So I always like with projects, I always ask, like, I'm not asking to get a plate made. Like, hey, I have my plate guy with Karolus. Like, I will absolutely have him do make my plates, and he can reverse engineer. But like, if a designer can have the Alps holes, that helps me a lot in making me interested in the board. So I pitched the idea to Bull earlier this week, and he said it's still early concept and like R&D, and it's not super high in his priority list. Like, but I told him like if he could please maybe consider that for this, at least for the solder PCB, because I know most people for his battleship when he's ready, it's gonna do Cherry MX, but I'm one of the crazy people who would want to build it with Alps because I don't have an Alps battleship, and that would be super sick.
I want RG.
Oh, RG would be super sick too. Like I do not have that switch type. I have. What are the switches?
I mean, we just have to murder a couple Logitech boards. It's fine.
I'm okay.
Who cares if you kill those?
I'm okay with that. Who cares? Well, it's funny you bring that up though. Like, when I've gotten into Alps and like the vintage stuff, when I post like my modern Alps builds, there are certain detractors online who will say like, "How many keyboards did you kill for those?" I'm like, well, first off, the keyboards were already dead when I got them. Like, especially like the old Apple keyboards. Like, I have a complete collection of Apple Alps keyboards. Like, and they're fully restored. But I tell people,
I think conceptually what they're saying is right. I have killed keyboards. Like, I have straight up killed keyboards, and I know it's bad, and I know it's bad for the hobby.
Yeah,
but
I know there's like the modern.
It's not like the switches like were placed on a shelf for the rest of history and never touched again. They're being actively used. I gave them life again.
Yeah, exactly.
In a form factor that they would have never gotten.
Yeah.
But there's also the preservationists that are like, it should stay as it was, and I kind of agree with that. It's not right to tear something. It's not right to tear something nice apart.
Exactly.
Is the thing.
Most of the Alps boards that I go, it's like if I need to harvest switches or parts, I go after clapped boards. Like something like my OmniKeys. Like I would never just harvest this for keycaps or switches. Like this is too beautiful.
The second I saw that, I immediately wanted to harvest the keycaps.
I hate you. No, but like this one, this is one of my modern Alps keyboards. This is my Frog Mini Leggera. And what's cool about it, this has green Alps. I know you hate green Alps. It's whatever, but like it has Macintosh keycaps. So like this is a cool, like I was able to give these Macintosh parts new life in this fun little keyboard. And it's a fun board. And I've done a few client builds with these keycaps. Like they're Dye Sublime PBT. Like they're freaking
they're
awesome.
Great caps, because you could get an AEK2 for like $20. Well, you used to be able to get it for $20-$25 for something that like has caps.
Yeah.
And that's all you need, is it has caps.
Yeah. Well, I mean, another one too, this is my only OmniKey that's really yellowed. Like this is my OmniKey Plus. So we have that 8K cluster, which is super sick. But yeah, really cool board. Like this isn't yellowed. But another thing too, I also tell people with like vintage stuff, I don't retrobright personally. Like I like the yellowing, unless it's really, really atrocious. I just don't do it because it damages the plastic and also re-yellows even quicker. So I just tell people, like, especially when I do like vintage stuff, like or a client build, I ask them, do you want me to retrobright? And if they say yes, I just tell them it's not permanent. It's going to re-yellow even quicker. And
you're better off painting it, or
Yeah. Unless you paint it or something. But like I just tell them, like,
sanding and painting.
I don't personally do retrobrighting because I know some people really like it, but I'm like, yeah, but it's not going to last. That's the problem.
I wouldn't. I know that it's a temporary thing. If I knew that like it was going to make the keyboard white and I was going to be like, yep, okay, that's fine. But like, it's going to re-yellow, and it's going to re-yellow unevenly. That's the worst part.
Yeah, that's like the part, at least like that one I just showed you. It's evenly yellowed, which is really nice, but that's the kind of thing that's like really tough with like a lot of the vintage stuff that I do. Because also I've gotten into like some of the IBM stuff. So like I restored like this IBM Model F, and this is freaking amazing. Like I love my Model M's, but the Model F, I see why people really like it. Like I know why Ellipse did that like Model F keyboards project. Like that project is freaking, they're a little too expensive for my taste, like Ellipse's project. I know there's issues with his boards, but I see why he did that project. Like the Model F is like so freaking good.
I'm going to be honest with you. I prefer the Model M to the Model F. Feel and sound, but modified the Model M.
Do you floss mod?
Cushionless mod.
Okay. Yeah.
So you get a harsher bottom out, or a more real bottom out, as opposed to like the little like legs bottoming out.
Okay.
You get the full bottom out.
Okay. Yeah, it's interesting. Like because I have the Battleship. I do want the other Model F models. I want a Model F AT.
I want a 107 so bad. I would
107 is
kill
so sick.
Everybody right now for a 107. Y'all are fucked. I would do crimes.
No, dude, the one I want is the Model F 122. I want the Battleship, but it's like the one I saw on Desk Authority, someone selling one, but they're asking what they want $600 for it, but it's gorgeous. There's like nothing wrong with it. But I'm like, I'm not spending $600 freaking dollars on an F122. Because also too, like the other one I want too is the SSK, and I know you have an SSK, but like they're like $500 right now.
No.
Really?
No. 150 to 200, you'll find something you can really work with, and you might not even need to bolt mod it.
Where would you recommend finding like a Desk Authority? That's usually where I look.
Honestly, Discords.
Okay.
Primarily, like right now, you will find the right person that doesn't really like care that much about keeping an SSK.
Okay.
I'd cap it like 200 plus ship.
Okay, basically. Yeah, because I have a Gen 1 silver badge Model M coming in that I'm gonna fully restore and bolt mod. Like I've kind of learned my Model M's. I just bolt mod them because like even if I have one board that I got in, it didn't need a bolt mod. It was one of the later ones. I just bolt modded it because I want to never have to think about it ever again. So that's why I kind of do it. So like,
I mean, when I got mine, I immediately picked it up and shook it. I'm like, wow, this is flawless.
Yeah.
And
so
like,
I want an
touch it for
SSK,
years.
like, because I'll have the M122. I have the Gen 1 Model M just to kind of complete my Model M collection. Is I want an SSK, and I just know like the ones that I've been seeing online have been just a little too expensive, but 150, 200 sounds way more reasonable because I paid like $100 for my Gen 1 silver badge.
Yeah.
Which was pretty reasonable because I know I went on eBay, that horrible godforsaken place. Some people are asking like $500 for Gen 1
I'll make you a
silver.
deal. If I spot an SSK in Japan, I'll pick one up for you.
Dude, absolutely. That'd be freaking sick.
Because I'm going to be there later this month, and like, I'm not like going to buy keyboards for me.
Well, and it's interesting too. I'll tell you. Actually, I want to tell you
because they were common. Like SSKs are pretty common in not pretty common, but they're findable in Japan for like.
Hey Simon, I want to share something with you that it's been a long-term project. Something I was working on for you. Whenever I don't know when it'll ever be done, but I've also done Alps builds for like people in the community. Like again, I'm doing a couple Alps builds for like the Bloody Easy with like the next build, and I'm doing one other build for him. I'm doing one for Shiva over at NyxKeys. I've done one for Chester at Keeb. You're one person I actually wanted to do an Alps build for. Again, my Alps builds take forever, but like I wanted to show you the keyboard I eventually want to do it with. So I don't know if you've ever seen like a Zenith Z150.
I love the fucking Zenith, bro.
Okay, cool. So I talked with on Discord. I talked with Kate because like I asked her like, hey, like, what do you think about if I did a board for Simon with Alps? And she said, yeah, he'd be okay with that. And they said this will probably take like the better part of a year to do because I think I messaged her back in like October. She said, yeah, that's cool. But yeah, I just want to let you know like I am working on. I'll probably be DMing.
So you're saying there's a Zenith with my name on it?
Yes, there is a Zenith with your name on it that I'll build for you because the way it's going to be built, it's my friend Alec Tardy, he's an amazing PCB designer for like Alps and like vintage stuff. And he designed a PCB for this that gives you full QMK vial support and remapping, which is super sick. So you would have, and also USB-C support, which is super cool. So it's definitely my project pipeline. Like my project pipeline is eternal. I'm hoping by the end of the year it'll be ready. But like, I'll probably be, I would love to see like what switches you would eventually want. Cause I have access to like all of the switches.
I mean, like I've not used my opportunity of like being in the US to actually do stuff.
Yeah.
Like I've been like, honestly, I've been coasting for like, basically the past year. Cause it was the first year that like I moved back. But like one thing that like we should do, I should pick up a battleship, like a stream battleship as a stream project of go online on stream, find a good deal, go pick it up, bring it home, restore it as part of a project, and then like give it away. Cause like, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, if you want help, I do sometimes scroll eBay because I do occasionally find good deals. There's like a battleship that's like, that needs some work, but it's like $60. The guy offered me $50 for it. For an M122 battleship, because the battleship you have to be careful because you have two variants. Yep. You have the big one and you have the battle cruiser. Some people will say, "Oh, I want a battleship," and then end up with the battle cruiser. This thing is still badass. Like this one is fully restored and cleaned, and it's amazing. But since I got the battleship back together, I love this thing, but it's not as cool as like the proper battleship. So. Yeah, just be careful. Just make sure you're getting like the proper battleship. I mean, they're pretty easy to tell once you know what to look for in their cases. Like it's pretty easy to tell them apart. But yeah, like absolutely. And again, like I like that Zenith board. Like I definitely want to figure out more details for you. Like I have like 5 of these chassis on hand because like it's my main source of green Alps. Because my client builds. All my clients want green Alps for some damn reason. I try to talk them out of it, but they say, I want linears. I'm like, okay. So I have a metric shitload of these and their parts on hand. So, cause they're like so cheap. You can get a Zenith for like $50 online.
Yeah. Like my perfect like OEM board would be a Zenith, but with the other kind of green Alps in it, basically.
Oh, the neon greens?
Yeah. It would be like the exact Zenith form factor, but neon green. That would be like, if it existed as an OEM, that would be the literal thing. That like I'd be like, yep.
Well, it's funny because I have a neon green board I'm doing. So my friend Karolus, who makes all the plates, he's built boards for clients with neon green Alps. But like Karolus, again, he's just a normal guy. He can't afford to pay the premium they are now. So
Yeah,
what he
it's
did,
insane. You
he
need
got
to-
one of these, a little BAE, and then there you go, you got one too. I love this, but this supports Alps. So he put a neon green in here, and he put a big ass enter, and so Karolus can officially say that he has a neon green Alps build, and that's what I'm doing. I tracked down a neon green Alps switch, and it's going to be coming probably in the next month or so, and I'm going to put it in this thing, and I will say I have a neon green Alps build. Wait,
okay, I'm really upset. I thought this was going to be Alps for a second because DCS, but nope. It is not.
I have this one with MX right now. I have Gator and Grayish in this, but this is going to get, again, a neon green Alps switch inside it. Just so I can say I have it.
I don't think that counts. I think that's cheating.
Well, that's what I told Karolus, and I'm like, well, I also don't want like a small business loan to buy like a set of neon greens, because like the screwed up part with neon greens, like before COVID, you could get them like when Shirasan was like still making. He did a video where he got a bunch, the ones that he has for his build, he got them new old stock for like 90 cents a switch, but that was in like 2018, 2019, and then people started hyping up the neon greens. And then they all got bought up by the scalpers. And then
the cheat code is literally browns with a lower spring weight. It's literally greens. It's literally greens. It's the same.
That's what they are. And everyone I've talked to, the people I know who have neon greens, describe them as like an inferior brown Alp. That's essentially what it is.
Oh, for me, it's superior to the brown Alps, because brown Alps are a little bit too heavy and a little too fatiguing. So the super extra fucking like tactile break that you have on browns is great and fun, but like when you're actively typing for like 6 to 8 hours a day, it's just pain.
Yeah. Well, funny thing is, this board right here, this is like my flex OmniKey build. Like this has the Amber Alps, so this has like $600 worth of switches. The Amber Alps have like an 80-gram spring. So this thing is really fatiguing to type on. Like I have it just as like a showcase of like something insane, but like I don't enjoy typing on it. Because I didn't think that, because most Alps are like 70 grams in spring weight. I don't enjoy Amber Alps typing on them. As cool as they are and as rare as they are, they're not fun to type on. Unfortunately.
We should make Alp springs, dude.
Well, they have the Spirit springs. I ordered a set of Spirit springs from RNDKBD. That should be coming. So like we'll kind of see how they go, but like they're in Canada, so I'm gonna pay tariffs on those. I paid the set of springs was like $10. I'm planning to pay like $30 on tariff on that damn thing, which is awful. So like, I wish there was a vendor based here in the States that like was selling the Spirit Alp springs, because that's literally our only option, really, unless you're like swapping springs from other Alp switches or like Alps clones.
Yeah,
because I'm working on.
I wouldn't stock Sprint personally.
Wait, what?
Just from I wouldn't like. I myself would not stock Sprint springs.
They're the only option. Like personal, if I may ask, like, what's the issue with Spirit? I don't know much other than like he's the only guy who makes them.
So back in the day, Sprint was basically like kind of like a vendor, but you know it was through Geek Hack and Google Forms and shit. And a lot of people made a lot of orders. And what's interesting is a lot of people didn't get their orders. Some people did, and a lot of people didn't. And a lot of those, I think, eventually over the course of years, they were resolved. But it's kind of if you let it happen once, what's stopping you from letting it happen again type situation. But if I'm not mistaken, like all the Alps, like they're not making new springs. So these are just springs that have just been sitting on shelves for years, right?
Yeah.
So like it's fine, just buy them all. It's kind of like we did for the KBD Mod springs.
Yeah.
KMAX springs.
Okay, yeah, that's interesting, because I think that's just like an interesting dynamic, is like most of my Alps, outside of like ultrasonic cleaning the parts and like adding like the light coats of lube to like clear up the binding, I really don't do a lot of other modding. Like I don't do like spring swapping with them, or like the things like the paper mod, which are really popular. Like I basically just do ultrasonic cleaning and like lubing the slider, and I just call it a day. And that's given me really great success on the switches that I have.
So you've never Franken switched? You've never taken
I don't
a
do.
click
I
leaf
really
out of
don't.
something naughty?
I like personally. Even when my Cherry MX days, I never was into Franken switching. I like, other than like lubing the switches, like I'm not a big fan of like modding switches. Like as much work as Alps are, it's just something that's the side of the hobby I've never really been into.
I mean, the argument is for Alps, you're gonna tear it all apart anyway. So you may as well, when you put it back together, just use a hodgepodge of parts for funsies to, maximize tactility or maximize click or thock max, I guess.
Yeah. Well, that's a funny thing you mentioned with that. Like Alps, at least in my experience, Alps are not a very thocky switch. I kind of see them as a very loud, old school clack. Like, I don't know.
I think thock is possible in Alps. I've actually gotten like I've done a thocky Alps build, and like I could probably find like a recording from years ago, and it would blow your mind. And it would have been Brown Alps integrated plate, thick integrated plate, like 3-4 mil.
Okay.
All aluminum.
Damn, that sounds fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really interesting because I think also too with those, like, because the one thing I was like, at least the builds that I've done, I've really only been able to get like an old school clack. And I always tell people too, like, Alps are very loud switches, even the 2 dampen switches, like Ivory and White Ivory Alps, like, which are probably the 2 most common Alps switches. Like, those are they're not as loud as like Orange Alps or like Blue Alps, but like they're still loud. Like, you're not getting true silent builds with what I've done. But I would like, if you definitely could find that video recording of that thocky, I would love to see how you built it, because like, I definitely have had clients who are interested, but they don't like the clack and like the super loud profile of Alps. They would definitely want something more subdued and thocky, which at least with my experience, I haven't been able to achieve yet.
I open up a private Discord server with me and a few friends. I'm like, okay, let's just look at all the videos. 448 results.
Yeah, if you're able to forward that to me, that would be awesome, because I think it would be really cool to kind of see that kind of shape up, because I think it'd be really kind of cool being able to do that. Also, I'm forwarding this DCS Hangul kit to Karolus's server because I want to put the word out about this.
Yeah, hopefully, like, if enough people buy it, the price can go down, because that is pricey, my dude. I think it's priced at like 75 is the thing, and I think like you could do way better than 75.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's like the interesting thing about it, is like being able to find that, because I just put that in Karolus's server, because I think that's going to be interesting too. Being able to kind of see how that plays out, because like I think that DCS Hangul, like I do like my DCS Alp sets, but like I said, like the one thing with DCS, like with Alps, it's probably at this point my least favorite Alps keycap type. I really like the vintage stuff more so than the DCS. I love DCS for like Cherry MX, but for like Alps builds, it's not my and that's not going to be my go-to.
All right, well, I'm upset. I can't immediately.
Well, if you find it, let me know, because it'd be really cool. And then a quick question: would you ever consider coming out to Keeb Life? Because I know we're having it. Yeah. Okay. That would be like such a cool meet to get like some of you guys who are like in the Midwest or like the East Coast, because I know we get some folks. I know we have a lot of folks who are based here like in Los Angeles, but like it'd be really cool to get like folks like some of the OGs who like don't live on like the West Coast or like California to be able to go out to that one, because it's like that's such a fun meet, because it's such a massive one. Because I think I don't know if we're bigger than KeyCon, because I know you're going to KeyCon.
Oh yeah, you gotta go to KeyCon. You can't not go to KeyCon.
Yeah, I know they don't bring it to LA.
It's nearby, so
yeah, they don't bring it to LA because I know because there's no point, because we have Keeb Life. But I would love to go to KeyCon. I don't know if I'm hoping to maybe do it in 2027. I know Chicago's for this year, because I know that they like travel it around.
Yep. So like hopefully it's more westish.
Yeah, because either way, I will go, because like if it's a place I would have to fly, I'd be fine. I would just take like 40% of my carry-on, because also I would want, if I went and I had to travel, I would want to bring some boards. I couldn't bring normally what I bring, but I would also not put them in checked luggage, because I don't trust TSA to like treat my keyboards politely in my carry. So I would definitely carry on some
fine.
boards.
Just also put a gun in there.
Hey, welcome to America.
Not a joke, by the way.
I know.
They legally cannot open your suitcase if you're checking a firearm, like if you do it properly. So you're the one to seal it, and you're the one to open it on the other side by law.
Dude, that's funny. Shit, I didn't know that. Welcome to American legal loopholes.
It's a pain in the ass to kind of do, though.
Yeah, no, I would definitely, because like if I did like a travel one like that, I would definitely just bring my 40% out, because they're small enough where I could just truck them all. I have like 6.
Yeah, you just stick them in your pocket, dude.
Oh, dude, I don't have them out right now, but like I have like my minivan. Here, let me go to my Insta.
Oh, look at that.
Oh, dude, that one is such a sick board. Let me go to my well, because we just had 40% day. So let me go to my profile. Let me see if I can get this showed up. There we go. Let me see if I can share my screen. Let me go to my screen really quick. So I have this one right here. So these are all my 40% here. So at least right now. So like I have like this was for 40% day. Oh, well, that's my Singa Neko, which is fun. So that's like one that's like really, really cool. The other one I have is my Lazy Designers Duo 40, which is another fun one. I have that KVD Fans like Gara Mini, which is a really fun little build. We have the minivan, which is like my OG. And then we have the Geon board, which I got the wing keyless one. I got in the drop. The group buy, they only did wing key or HHKB, but I got the...
Honestly, that minivan goes hard.
Oh, dude, I love it. Dude, it's custom Cerakoted. So this is fully custom. The case is custom Cerakoted red. The plate is made out of copper. So this thing actually weighs a lot for how small it is. It's crazy. So, well, because I got the case and the plate from a guy down in Australia, and he mailed it up to me. And then we got the plate and the case custom Cerakote. It has Owlad latte linears, and then has panels. And then, of course, I love my Geon board. So I'm one of the few people with the wing keyless version. So I wanted to make it more useless by taking buttons away. And then we also have the Jackie High Ton 40. So yeah, so those are really, really
So
like fun 40%. I also have a Pomelo, which is going to be my Alps project. So I have a Pomelo, a wing keyless Pomelo that I had to have a custom PCB made for it. So it's going to be I think we're going to put brown Alps in it just to be kind of insane with it. So
yeah, you got to have some fun.
Oh yeah, no, it's going to be crazy. Like I have the PCBs designed. We're probably going to be placing the order because I have to order 5 PCBs because that's just how the minimums work. So I'll be going in probably over the summer ordering the PCBs. And then when those come in, Karolus is making the plate for it, but it's it'll be a fully 1-of-1 custom build, all 4 extra PCBs. So if some other psychotic person has a Pomelo and wants to make Alps, I'll definitely send him I'll send him a PCB. It's open source too. The boards are open source, so someone could like theoretically like 3D print one or have their own made. So, because I wanted to do like an Alps 40% build, but like the hard part was keycap. So essentially what I'm doing with that board, where is it? No. Very
like so you'd want a 45%, right? You'd want like one of those that's been like converted to work with modern-esque layouts.
Yeah, pretty much. So like essentially what I'm doing is the weird keys and the modifiers are actually going to be the leftover keys for DCS Reaper. So what's cool about DCS Reaper, it has a full 40% kit in it. So all of my modifiers in my bottom row are going to be DCS Reaper, and then my alphas are going to be from a vintage Alps keycap set. I haven't decided which set.
Oh no. Yeah, you got to be careful about the row height. That's the only issue.
Well, I found I have a Dolch set, an original Dolch set that's Alps that fits the profile of DCS Reaper. So it's going to be DCS Reaper modifiers with Dolch. It's going to be awesome. So and I know you're a big fan of Dolch.
To everybody in the chat right now losing their shit at the war crimes that you have just committed.
Oh, it's gonna be terrible. I love it. That's literally the only way to do it. Well, also I had a question. Dolch just reminded me. I have Dolch R5X for GMK, and that one I remember I was watching your group buy stream. They literally dropped the group buy out of nowhere and it's open for like 5 days.
5 days.
I'm like, why? This is
and then like 10 days later, like 2 weeks later, they put out extra. It was a real dick
that pissed me off.
I don't think they're gonna do that again because
why?
I think like the original response was, "Hey guys, stop overreacting," and then the entire hobby was like, "No,
yeah,
fuck you."
Well, because I like your rule of thumb with group buys, like keep it open for like 30 to 45 days, and that allows like people...
I mean, it's excessive, but I like to do minimum 1 month and 1 week.
Okay, because
minimum
that allows people, depending on when people get paid or like budgeting, like then they can like maybe, hey, I can't swing at the start of the group buy, but maybe in like 40 days at the end, like money will be right, I'll be paid, then I can like finance till checkout, then I can purchase this. Like
but
I agree with
leaving
your rule of
buys
thumb.
open really sucks, like from like a vendor standpoint, because
Yeah.
like you've already got people's money and you got to wait until the whole thing's over.
Yeah.
And generally, how sales happen is a lot of sales will be on like day 1, day 2,
Yeah.
and then the remainder are going to be the last 3 days. So like the whole in between spot is kind of wasted for the majority of people. There are exceptions. And it kind of like, it really depends like how you're doing the group buy, but typically you'll get a whole bunch and then nothing and then a whole bunch and then it's over. So the one could argue the duration of the group buy doesn't really matter, but out of fairness, like I always do longer group buys because I'm not a dick.
Yeah.
And there are certain things that like you just do because it's the nice, polite thing to do. It's out of decency.
Yeah. And then I guess another thing too, like I really didn't like that because like my Studio Class 100 I bought the industrial gray colorway and they added Alps support. So I'm going to be building that board with Alps, and this is the keycap set we're going to put on it. We're going to put Dolch on it. So I got Tanghus Dolch. So I bought this keyboard with the explicit support of like putting Dolch on that set, on that board, because I originally was going to build it with GMK R5 Dolch. And then when the Studio guy said like, hey, we're going to add Alps support to the solder PCB, I'm like, well, now I got to find a Dolch set for like this freaking board. I still want to use Dolch. So like that's another board I'm part of the group buy, and I cannot wait to get like that board. Because also too with Studio, they're doing a design contest in their Discord for like their next project. And the current winning submission is an IBM battleship, like a proper IBM battleship.
Like
and I'm like, I really hope Studio would run a freaking battleship, because that would be
they will. I mean, they did the 0413.
Yeah,
they got the class. And 0413 is rerunning soon. Because
they're doing R2.
Once
I know what they told me, once the Class 100 is fully fulfilled, then they'll do the 0413 R2. So I'm thinking the first part of 2027, they'll do this next user design. So it's a contest. So the first place winner will get that board for free in a custom colorway of their choice. Second place will get a random Studio board. I'm currently in second place in the design contest. I submitted my Northgate OmniKey, because like a Northgate OmniKey by Studio would be sick.
James, you know what to do. James just automatically wins all the contests. So
James, I hate you. Don't do that. But I submitted
this. Such a talented designer.
This was my submission, and I'm in second place. So if I win, if the voting stays the same, like I would get a free Studio board of whatever they have. The problem is I own all of their boards. So like I own a 0413, I have a Class 65, I have a Class 80, I have the Class 100 on Group Buy, I have the 0413, I have the 60. So they would have to give me a battleship. Hopefully that's how they work. Because I'm like, I have all your shit, guys. Which would be really cool. But who knows? But like Studio is definitely like, I think if I had to pick like my two favorite design studios, it would be Geon and Studio. Like they're the designers I have the most amount of boards from, because I love their stuff.
I don't like the Studio design language. I love their boards because they make big, nice boards. I like the decisions they make as a business. But I am not the biggest fan of their design. Yet I still fucking support them 100%. Because preference. That's the whole hobby.
Oh, I love their stuff. The one thing I'm glad they changed though. I'm glad they listened to you. The one thing with Studio I appreciate, and I know there's been in times in the past where certain designers or studios don't listen to user feedback. I like that Studio listens to the feedback of the community, especially with their interest checks. Like, for example, the 0413 was going to have a permanently attached USB cable that came out of the side. Again, that's sick. I would have loved that. But the vast majority of the user base said like, hey, this isn't for us. So they
fuck the police, CCR 6.
Oh, I love that you're doing that.
First fucking attached cable.
I love that. I love that your board is doing that. And again, but I like the Studio said like, hey, the community, they're not about this. So then they just gave it the normal USB-C port on the back, like the the Class 100. They had the branding and the badges were just kind of over the top and in your face, like
they cleaned those up real fast.
Yeah, and so I liked that they cleaned that up and said like, hey, we're still gonna have branding, but it's not gonna be like in your face like Matrix Labs. It's gonna be more subdued, and a little more classier, like the whole product line is called. And I like that they added the Alps support. So like I like they are willing to listen to user feedback, because that's something we need in this hobby. Because I know there are certain designers who say, "Nah, screw you guys. It's made. I'm not changing it."
I mean, I respect the decision.
Yeah.
And if you're gonna if it's something where this is built for a very specific purpose, and here is that specific purpose.
Yeah.
I think you, as the designer / vendor / group buy runner, you have that right to just be like, this is how it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
So, for example, CCR6, people were like, "Hey, put Alps." No, it's not made for Alps.
No,
I'm sorry, it's just not. We can make one for Alps in the future.
Oh, that'd be
but
sick.
it's not built. It's not made for Alps. So, sorry.
I mean, if you ever did a run in the future for Alps, like a full polycarbonate version, I'd be all over that shit. That would be so freaking sick.
I mean, the beauty of the CCR5X is it is open source, so anybody could just make polycarbonate ones and do Alps PCB and plates.
Yeah, I think that's the really cool thing. And I think that's really important too. Is I think the hobby's in such a good place because I think one thing I'm kind of the crowd I'm very glad that left the hobby is the crowd that came in for the hype. They came in, we're gonna buy keyboards as investments. And
what's hilarious is you entered the hobby so late, and you also fucking hate those people.
I hate those people.
So based.
Oh yeah, I don't like that. And again, that's why I got rid of my hype boards, like my clout boards. Now, and again, I still have some boards. If I showed it to someone, I have a Tree Leaf 917. Most people in the hobby, normies, have no idea what the hell that board is. But
what colorway? Is it in Golf colorway?
Oh, I have the Golf. Colorway. I don't want. You know what's funny? I messaged Tree Leaf when I got that board. I needed some parts I needed extra PCBs from Tree Leaf because the original guy I got mine from, he screwed his PCB up, and Tree Leaf surprisingly had PCBs.
Yep.
And
fun fact, by the way, if you buy a board and then PCB dead on it, reach out to the guy that made the board. There's a very high likelihood that when he ordered prototypes, he didn't order one prototype PCB. He needed to buy 5 to 10, and he's just sitting on them.
Yep.
So always ask before you make one.
Oh, absolutely. So Tree Leaf had extra PCB, so I ordered it from him. But again, he had extra colorways. He had there were 2 other colorways. They were more darker blue, I forget. And he also had a red one. And then there was a pink pig one he made for Jace. And I'm there's only one pig one in existence. And I would totally love a pink pig 917 because I love that Porsche colorway livery. But he said that was just a one-off for Jace. I'm damn it. Because I've seen Jace's pink pig 917 and it's freaking amazing. And I asked him, would you ever sell it? He said, no, I'm never selling it. God damn it.
Okay, so here's the thing. I said that too until I was in a financial situation where I didn't have a choice.
Yeah.
So all we have to do is bankrupt him, and then you can swoop in.
Have you interacted with Jace? You would know who he is if he has a massive Norbauer collection. He has.
Oh yeah, then no.
Okay.
I have a massive Norbauer problem.
Okay, well, here's the thing with Ryan.
I mean, I don't actually. I just conceptually. There's people. It's real hard to explain. Have you ever just seen a person and been like, I hate this person. This person can fuck.
Well, here's the thing. I got to meet Norbauer at Keeb Life, and again, it was a positive experience. And again, I think you mentioned it earlier. Some people design their keyboards for a very specific purpose or specific audience, and that's kind of how I view Norbauer stuff. He's found his audience, which are people who are a little higher end in terms of what they're willing to spend, and he's tailored to that. Your average person entering the hobby, not going to shell out $500+ or $4,000 for a Seneca, but there is a small subset in this hobby that are tailored to that. So
people love his fucking wedges. I don't know why.
Yeah.
I don't know why people like his design. His designs don't do anything for me.
Yeah.
Just like Key Cult designs never did anything for me.
Not a big fan of Key Cult. Never been a fan of their stuff. But Norbauer, I get why his stuff has a cult following. Because they definitely have. Norbauer is definitely one of those design studios that has the cult following. So and it's really cool. And again, Norbauer actually. I set up a Keeb Life because Jace is based here in California, so he set up his whole Norbauer collection, and then I set up my whole Alps collection next to him, and then Norbauer came out because Norbauer is based in LA, so I brought Norbauer over to my table, and he was very Norbauer's also, if you ever meet him in person, it takes a lot to impress him because he deals with some super high end stuff. He was genuinely impressed with my table of all my Alps stuff because he's a kid of the 80s. Like he grew up with those old keyboards. So like and then it's kind of represented in his like design aesthetic and his boards. And he like genuinely loved the stuff that I brought out. I brought out most of my custom stuff at the time, and he genuinely loved all the builds that I have. And he said like he's interested in like doing his own like Alps build one day. And he said like he'll definitely be like picking my brain and like how to do it. So that was just really kind of cool. Like someone like Nerbauer who again, if he wanted to get anything in this hobby, he could get it. But it was just really it was kind of a humbling experience for me, like seeing Nerbauer like genuinely blown away by the stuff I brought.
Yeah, that's dope.
Yeah, so I think that's really kind of cool too. Like, and I think it's also cool too. Like, I had a quick question for you. Like, the group buy reviews are one of my favorite pieces of content within the hobby. Like, how did you start doing that? I'm really curious.
No idea. It was 6 years ago. I decided one day, let's just like review all the new stuff.
Okay.
And people liked it, so I kept doing it.
Yeah. Well, the one thing that I always do when I'm in it, when I'm watching, I always try to guess what is Simon's rating going to be on this. Like, we're in the IC area. Is it going to be a spoon? Is it going to be a newspaper? Like, is it
all it takes is for me to see left bracket / size right bracket, and then you your eggplant just immediately turned into a spoon.
Yeah, or like top right blocker, hidden screw design, or sussy back and echo, which is like really like funny. I always like thinking about that because it's cool too. Because like the one thing I do appreciate about you is, if there's a genuine piece of feedback that needs to be given, or like say like, hey, like they're doing something that is not okay for the community, like you call that out. And I think some people are so afraid to like give that piece of feedback because they don't want to lose like sponsorships or revenue. And I like that you are willing, like if something needs to be said in terms of like, hey, like do not buy this because it's either a poor purchase or like the people behind this have done some really shady things. Like that's not something we want to support within the hobby. That's something I really appreciate when you go through those group buys and give that context on some of those projects.
I mean, I try to be like the keyboard dad. And like your dad's not always going to be 100% right, but your dad's going to try and protect you and do the right thing for you. And that's basically it. I mean, that's like the mentality that I come in.
Yeah.
Like, I'll yell at something, not because like I'm trying to be a dick for no reason. This is not okay.
Yeah.
Here's why this is not okay.
Yeah.
You know, the like a lot of people think, you know, I'm too aggressive, too...
No, I love that.
Well, I mean, like people not speaking out is how anything collapses.
Yeah.
If you don't fight for it, some people will be like, Simon, it's a $5 difference. Why are you being such a dick for $5? The $5 fucking dollars matters. The $1 matters. Whether or not you include a particular feature, that matters. Everything fucking matters.
Yeah.
And if you don't speak out, if you don't use your voice, who's going to speak out for you?
Yeah.
You know, is it going to be the influencers whose mouths can only say the words that people have paid them to say?
Yeah.
No. Right? And so, like, you need to speak out. You need to, like, we all have a voice.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, and that's the thing too, like, and I also looked at it too, like when I reviewed the BP1 prototypes, again, I took into consideration that these are not final production units. And after I did the Cherry MX build and the Alps build, I sent a detailed write-up to the designer, Luke Barron. And I told him, like, hey, like, I love this project. I'm grateful that I got to take a look. Here's my pieces of feedback. And again, I like to give the feedback to the designers because, especially if they're giving me a prototype and they're still like the IC stage, I want to help give them feedback. So so if it's still possible to make some adjustments so that the final production unit that people get is as good as it can be. Because it's kind of like in the gaming industry. Sometimes they like release it, they like rush a game, and then you get a broken, buggy mess on launch, and that's not good for the end consumer. So I kind of see that with keyboards. Like by the time a board is being delivered and shipped out to clients, it should be absolutely perfect and the best that it can be. And I think that's an important way we can give that feedback, especially when we do like reviews or things like that, to help the boards be the best that they can be for the end user who will ultimately be giving their hard-earned money in the group buy or purchasing those boards for their personal use.
Absolutely, dude. Okay, we're 2 hours in, by the way,
shit, yeah.
and like we're trying to keep episodes to an hour and 30 minutes.
Okay, and I don't want to
we
keep you guys
gotta
any more time. I know it's the keyboard friend.
It is. Let's do good keyboard friend nominations. I don't think we have. I don't think I have one. So if you've got a good keyboard friend nomination,
give me a second.
Now is the time.
I would like to. I want to share my screen for each of them, if that's okay.
Let's go.
Because I really would love to give shout outs. I have 3 people I genuinely want to shout out. Let me just get their websites opened up. Because each of these people have been integral in kind of where I am in the hobby. So I'll start. Let me get back to my screen and I'll share that one. So my first one I want to give a shout out to. Let me get my screen and we're going to go to, we shared this earlier, which is Karolus Craft. So the person who owns this, his name is Karolus. He is the go-to person when it comes to modern Alps keyboard conversion. So if you need a plate designed for a keyboard, Karolus is the person to go to. He sells plates, he sells parts, he also does commissions, and even some of the builds that he builds, he also sells those. So Karolus is amazing. All the plates that I do for my modern Alps conversions, those plates are designed by Karolus. He's, again, a person I am proud to call a friend, and he's been a really integral part in my journey within the hobby. The second person I want to give a shout out to is going to be Tom over at Hype Keyboards. All of my plates that I use in my modern Alps builds are going to be from Tom. He is actually one of my sponsors. I've given Tom probably 4 figures of work at this point to all the custom stuff that I've done, whether it be for personal builds or for client builds. And Tom is a really integral part in terms of what I do. So if you ever need plates cut for like Cherry MX, Alps, Topra, or any other type of switch, Hall Effect, like Tom can pretty much do anything in terms of plate work. And his manufacturing is top notch, and he can make plates pretty much out of any material that you could think of. And then the very last person I just want to shout out is my friend Alec Tardy. Now, Alec Tardy is a PCB designer. He is another person who's really integral. He has a ton of PCBs that he designs for vintage boards. So like Simon, I shared you, like I'm working on a Zenith project for you. Like it's going to be based on his PCBs. He's made stuff like Model Fs, OmniKeys, AT101s, and a ton of other like old school like cherry boards, G80s. And the 40% Alps PCB that I'm working on he's actually designing. So I just these are kind of my 3 people I really wanted to shout out. Karolus at Karolus, Tom at Hype Keyboards, and then Alec over at who designs Alec Tardy PCBs. So those are kind of the 3 people who've really kind of integral into my journey into the niche and the sweet spot that I found within the hobby.
That's fucking awesome, dude.
Yeah. So again, I just want to say thank you. And then Simon, also too, I'll be shooting you some messages on Discord probably in the coming days because I want to figure out what switches to put in that Z150 I'm working on for you. Again, it's been a long time project, but we're definitely going to be having it materialize because like, I don't know, like there's people in the hobby I like doing builds for. It's just like a thank you. And you're definitely one of those people. I want to eventually get that one too.
All right. I appreciate it. I mean, like but here's what we got to do. Here's what we really got to do. Okay. Before end of year, we all like me, James, Tanghus, Hubert, we're all doing an Alps build this year just because everybody's got to do an Alps build. It's 2026. Come on. If you haven't done an Alps build, you got to do an Alps build. But me and you, we got to do a fucking Romer G build. We got to do it.
Oh, that'd be sick.
We got it. It's like, even if it's like a super like stupid, like budget, like a silly, like little project, like we should do it. Because like,
I'd be down.
It's been 10 years. It's literally been 10 years since I've been wanting to do a Romer G build.
Yeah, I'd be down.
As well.
That sounds really sick. As long as we get a PCB and a plate made for it, we should be good.
Yeah. James?
Yeah, we got James.
Yes.
Romer G? Question mark?
Romer G.
Keycaps? Question mark?
The downside is you're gonna need to use like Logitech keycaps. Oh, actually, no. It uses it's a circle with a cross, so like it probably takes MX.
Oh, heck yeah.
Really?
Yeah,
okay.
like I think
I'm down. I'm in.
Otherwise, like, let me see.
Doesn't look like it takes.
No, we'd need to like yoink. I mean, there's caps that are compatible on Etsy, so like there's got to be something.
Yeah, like if we get a nice beige, I'd be down.
Yeah. Oh, beige I wouldn't count on, but like I could see on like AliExpress that there's like white on black, shine through, like garbage tier keys.
Hey,
I mean, hey, it's part of the experience, my dude.
Yeah, that sounds like a good time for sure.
And
yeah,
we have
Rumor
Zamb.
Juice would be sick.
Zamb is a friend, and he literally just like invents keycap profiles. Zamb, Romer G memes. Year of the Romer G 2027. No, okay, that's enough memes.
I mean, yeah, Rumor Juice would be sick. That's a super sick keycap style. I mean, like switch style. That would be awesome.
Whoever left these 2 Razer switches on my desk has caused this, by the way, because this is what caused it. Just playing with these Razer greens the whole time. I'm just like, we need Romer G.
Oh, I know, dude. I've been spraying my little BAE off camera, so I feel you.
All right. Thank you, Finley, for joining
absolutely.
us.
No, thank you
for being fucking like. Thank you for being the literal source of like 90% of Alps content that I get to see. Well, somebody's got to keep it alive, right?
Well, dude, Shira-san, has even reached out to me. The man, the like legend himself. So he's reached out to me too. So he's now a buddy of mine. I definitely like. He said like he definitely appreciates the crazy crap I'm doing. So yeah, gentlemen. Again, thank you so much for everything that you guys do, and again, thank you to Hubert for the opportunity. And again, like I just really appreciate everything that you guys do, and also Tanghus as well. Everyone else has been on as well.
Thank you for joining us, and I hope that like we get to do another one, and we get to do it like real spicy, real nice.
Absolutely, but
absolutely, gentlemen. Going.
All right, guys. I think it's time for us to head off. All right, guys, take it easy.
Bye-bye.
All right, guys.